So hello and welcome back to the Past Turn podcast. Myself, Aaron Francis, and no longer mysterious man, Tom Durrant.
Hello again.
We aim to bring you all the latest Magic the Gathering, hype spoilers discussions, and our very own and sometimes foolish opinions. And today we're going to be chatting about all things Commander for the new set of Strixhaven. And that's going to be delving into the Commander decks, all the new cards, as well as some cards we feel could be good in the actual set. And joining us, we've got one of our friends from our play group, and that's Troy. So reveal Troy.
Hello.
Hello, Troy. How are you going?
Good, thanks. Thanks for inviting me on.
That's good. So Troy's an avid Commander player in the group. And we're going to be going through some awesome Commander cards today. But I thought it would be a good way to start would be the Elder Dragons, because they're like the founders of each school, aren't they, from Strixhaven?
They are.
So I thought it would be a good start to start with them. Have you all had a look at the Elder Dragons, or anything sort of stands out to you? The Elder Dragons.
Whoa there, Aaron. Hold up. Troy, introduce yourself, please. Let the listeners know who you are. How long have you been playing? What's your favourite deck?
Right, let's go quick. So, when I was about 12, I played at school. Yu-Gi-Oh was very popular. We played Yu-Gi-Oh, and there was a few of us that delved in a bit of Magic as well. So I started playing then. Onslaught block. Played for a few years. Mirrored in block. Khan's Attack here after that, maybe. Can't remember. And then it sort of died off like all the trends do at school. Thought nothing of it after that. And then fast forward, 14 years? Aaron and Josh. Oh, come over, play some Magic with us. We play Commander. What's Commander? No idea. What's a Planeswalker? No idea. How do you even play Magic anymore? No idea. But I'll give it a go. Ended up winning the game. Josh basically played Aaron's deck for me. And I thought I'd give it a go. Found myself at the War of the Spark pre-release with Aaron and Josh being idiots like usual. And ended up playing from then. So now I'm strictly Commander. Got a few good decks. I've amassed a small collection of decent cards, lots of staples. So yeah, I'm in a good place right now. And I've pre-ordered all these Commander decks this year finally. So yeah,
nice.
I'm looking forward to it.
That was a perfect rundown. Well done.
Thanks. Short and sweet.
That was much better than my intro of just going straight into it. Well, just off the back of that, what's your favourite deck to play at the moment, Troy? Commander.
So I have a Skullbriar, the Walking Grave deck. Aaron knows about. Not sure if Tom knows about.
Yeah, I've played it.
I've completely changed the structure of it. Had a little input from Josh the Dunn as well, and and just recently built a mono white deck, which I thought I'd never do.
Nice.
Oketra, God Eternal Oketra, sorry. Nice stacks deck. So I'll be playing that this week against Aaron and whoever else is playing, I guess.
Oh, nice, yeah. Looks good.
So, yeah.
Look forward to playing that lot.
Should be good.
Yeah. So yeah, cheers for that, Troy.
No problem.
But Elder Dragons, the Lorehold, Prismari, Quandricks, Silver Quill, and Witherbloom creatures, Elder Dragons of the set. Basically, the what are they called, Troy? The teachers at Hogwarts. No, the founding members of Hogwarts. Oh,
Godric Gryffindor, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a Gryffindor one. There's
Salazar Slytherin.
That's it. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember them all.
All the films have been on this Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
something like that.
That's the ones.
Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are basically those characters. Yeah.
So dragons are much cooler than people.
Oh yeah. So do any of these stand out immediately? Have you got any of these on your list or anything, Troy, or not? Or
not personally, but I've seen a lot of love for the Witherbloom one.
Oh yeah.
Just because of what it does, I guess.
Yeah, the pay 10 life thing. That's one of the things that was one of the things that's in the teaser, wasn't it, Tom? The pay 10 life thing.
I think it was. I don't think we expected it to be untap all lands you control and activate only once each turn, but
no.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Belladros.
Berdros Witherbloom, yeah, it's quite a cool one. And then you get a token every turn as well, which then gains you the life back, I guess, if the creature dies, which is the standard sort of pest mechanic
you get
in
pests,
the
don't you?
Yeah.
See a lot of pest stuff on this set.
Yeah, I'll allude to another pest card later, which is in my list. but yeah, I think pretty cool.
Yeah, you're generating a token every upkeep, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then if it dies, you gain a life, so it's win-win. And then that will give you some life to pay the 10 life, I guess.
Exactly. That's what it wants to do, at least, I think.
Exactly. It seems to work.
Yeah. And then we got Galazeth, which is the Prismari one, which cares about treasure tokens. And obviously it's got like a Urza-esque ability on there, where all of your artifacts can then tap to add a 1 mana of any colour, which I think is ridiculous.
There is the big drawback, though, that can only be spent on instants and sorceries, of course.
That's true.
It stops a few shenanigans.
You're in the right colours for that, though, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prismari, sorry.
Yeah, so that's a cool one. Then we got this weird dragon, the Quandricks one, which I thought this text would be on all the dragons. I thought they would all choose a different mode that targets a different player, because I think Quandricks was the one that was spoiled first.
Yeah, that was the day one spoiler, wasn't it? This was like a teaser of what the dragons will be.
Yeah. So I thought all the dragons would have the choose one mode that each one must target a different player, but in fact it is only Quandricks that does it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little bit underwhelming, I think, this card.
So I just noticed it does say you may choose 2, so you can just choose not to do it at all.
All right.
But then where's the fun in that? What's the point in playing?
What's the point in playing it? Exactly. Draw a card, lose a life. Wow, yeah. Stand.
Yeah.
So someone gets a 2/1 flyer, someone gets to draw a card and lose a life, and someone gets a +1/+1 counter on each creature they control, which sounds pretty powerful.
Yeah. I guess it's situational. Use it to your advantage somehow.
I guess
or
if
just
you
don't play it at all.
Just use in Garrick's Wake first, in your first main phase. They have no creatures. Give their creatures +1/+1. Job done.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go. That's what it's made for.
And you've got a flying double strike as well, so could matter with regards to commander damage maybe, but yeah, it's essentially a 4/5, so it's not really good that in that regard combat wise. So then we got Quandricks. So 4/4 flying trample. When he enters, you double the number of +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. So that's okay, I guess. Just making one big creature.
So hope it's got some counters, I guess.
Yeah. What does the second one do? Whenever it attacks, you may have the base power and toughness of other creatures you control become equal to its power and toughness standard turn. So I guess that just makes all of your creatures the same power. The same power as him. So if you
potentially
buff him up,
exactly. Whatever his power and toughness are, all your creatures will be.
So I think the idea behind that is to use it with the fractal tokens in Strixhaven, because there's 0/0 tokens that get +1/+1 counters put on them to make them bigger. So if they all instantly just get basically +4/+4. If you do it with all your tokens, generally it works with all tokens, doesn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, it's quite good. There's a lot of that sort of like creatures with no abilities and weird sort of fractal tokens. That's obviously what they're planning to do in this set, isn't it? Token generation, but that's standard Simic.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the new Commander deck is all tokens, isn't it?
Yeah,
token heavy.
Yeah, definitely. We can delve into that a little bit more later, but yeah, it's definitely the case with that deck. And then finally, we have the something Lawhold. I can't read it on this.
Velomachus.
Velomachus.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So Flying Vigilance Haste, 5/5. So the biggest of all of them. When it attacks, look at the top 7 cards of your library. Cast an instant or sorcery with mana value less than or equal to Lawhold's power, and among them, from among them, without paying its mana cost, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Basically, cast an instant or sorcery for free.
Yeah. And again, it cares about its power. So if you chuck some more auras or equipments on this, you can cast bigger things when it attacks. So yeah, another thing that cares about the power of the thing, and it doesn't tap either because it's got vigilance, it's got haste, it can act straight away. So that's quite good, I guess. Yeah. It's like 2 for 1 almost, isn't it? Because it comes in, swings, you get a spell off the top straight away.
Yeah, I think I do really like the Lawhold one.
Yeah,
I think Lawhold's winning. Definitely winning at the moment.
It's the priciest one as well, though, isn't it? Mana value wise, it's 7 as well as Beladros.
Yeah,
so Beladros matches it.
Yeah, but will it match it in combat? We will see.
Definitely not. Literally just gets absolutely smashed.
Yeah.
But do you feel they're all a little bit too small? Like, for an Elder Dragon, do you not feel you should be a bit bigger than a 3/4 to make it to an Elder? You'd like...
Surely you're talking 7s at least, aren't you?
I'd say like 6, to be honest, as a minimum, is what I want from Elders.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, a generic dragon comes and kicks the life out of Prismari.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get Elder if you can't even, like, survive broodlings?
Well, not even that, mate. You know, a dragon hatchling can give itself fire breathing and take down a bloody Elder Dragon if you pump the red mana into it. So it's ridiculous. Yeah. But just a volcano dragon could just come out and take down Galazeth Prismari and just in one hit. But yeah, definitely could be bigger. Because the original Elder Dragons are all 7/7s, aren't they? Because of Elder Dragon Highlander, you take 3 hits from an Elder Dragon, you're dead. Whereas you take 4 hits.
Exactly right.
You can take loads of hits from Galazeth and you're fine in the Elder Dragon Highlander format. It's outrage.
You got to take 7, haven't you?
Exactly, yeah. Perfect universe. I never knew that. I did not know that's where the 21 commander damage comes from.
Did you not?
Yeah. No, that is blown my little mind.
Yeah.
Listeners out
there. Every
there.
day is a school day in Strixhaven.
Exactly. That's why we're here.
We're here to learn.
Professor Bosch.
Professor Bosch. Brilliant. So yeah, they're the Elder Dragons. I don't know if they're going to be... So obviously someone's going to play them in Commander. Yeah. Well, what do you think they'll do in Standard, Tom? Anything in Standard?
Oh, I can't really tell. Like, one of them, I reckon Prismari's weirdly going to just be like busted, and you'll be like, this is stupid. Like, just getting treasure tokens all the time. Well, no, you only get one treasure token, and then you add the mana, so I don't know.
Still quite aggressively costed, aren't they, for that sort of stuff?
I feel Witherbloom won't be. The fact you can only do it once per turn, I feel, isn't strong enough.
Yeah.
Maybe Silver Quill's got like a weird build around thing. And
Yeah,
Quandricks will be like a weird meme deck to build your fractals, I reckon. Like, or I don't know, maybe there will be like a really legitimate, powerful Simic, what's it called, Quandricks deck that is built around it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. That comes out this week, doesn't it, on Arena? Is it this week?
I think so.
Or next week? Bloody hell!
It's coming round quick. You know there'll be someone that'll just make 5 decks for these dragons, just for the hell of it. So,
oh yeah.
One super 5-coloured deck, just
or just one deck, yeah. One deck with them all in.
Yeah, so they're the Elder Dragons. So obviously, we'll see a lot of them. But I thought we would just go through the different sort of schools as such, and just if we want to go through any cards from the main set, that could be good in Commander. So we start with the Lawhold school. So have you got any Lawhold cards that stand out?
Don't know. Have you?
I've meant, so these are red and white, so Boros colours. So I've got a few. I think I might have mentioned them maybe last week, but I'll mention the new ones later when we go into the Commander decks. But yeah, the first one is Hoffrey Ghostforge. So this is a legendary mythic rare, which I think was spoiled maybe last week. But yeah, Dwarf Cleric, spirits you control, get +1/+1 and have trample and haste. He's a 4/5 for 5 mana. And then whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a spirit in addition to its other types. And when that creature leaves the battlefield, you return the exiled card to your graveyard. So it just protects all of your creatures from dying, because they just make copies of themselves when they die. And all those copies will have trample and haste. So I think that's just brilliant for a Boros commander. Hoffrey Ghostforge, there he is. Tom's just got him up.
Yeah. For a small person, he's got a lot of power, hasn't he?
He's got a lot going on for him.
I seem to have missed the multicolored cards in this set for some reason. When I was looking,
they're usually useless.
So yeah, I just thought I'd mention him again. I think I mentioned him in passing last week. I've got a few others from the Lorehold category, which are part of the standard set, but I also think they're part of the commander deck as well. One of them is called Reconstruct History. So again, I think I mentioned it in passing last week. So it's red and white and 2 for a sorcery. Return up to 1 target artifact, enchantment, instant, sorcery, and planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. And that's for 1 red, 1 white, and 2 others. So that's pretty good, especially in Boros.
There it is, yes. Yeah, again, we spoke about this one before, didn't we? And it's just pretty crazy. Like, it sounds like a joke. Like, yeah. I don't know. I'm mentioning them again because I can't remember whether I mentioned them on the last podcast that just broke and just failed, or it was the one before that. I can't remember. So that's why I'm mentioning them again. I could have already mentioned it already, to be fair, on the last one. But
mention it again. Why not?
Mention it again. Why not?
Yeah, that'd be good in Boros. Artifacts and things.
Yeah, it gives you so much stuff to bring back, and obviously we'll go into the commander deck for Boros later. But there's a lot of recursion in it, which doesn't really happen in those colors.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is just it's brilliant time to have a Boros deck or be building a Boros deck, or in this case a Lorehold deck. My apologies.
Yeah, come on. Let's get the basics right.
Yeah. Sorry. And another card I've got on the list is Rip Apart, which is 1 red and 1 white for a sorcery, and you can choose one. You can deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, which is just good removal for that sort of CMC or mana value, and then you can destroy target artifact or enchantment. So you can choose any one of those modes, which I think is great. It's going to be great in standard as well, I think, because there's so much modes on it.
Yeah, as long as the mana can be supported in standard. So like you need both red and white, obviously. I don't know what lands we've even got. What lands did we get in this set? Anything?
Yeah, there was a good cycle, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the reveal cycle, whatever you want to call it, isn't it?
Yeah, so it might as well just mention that in passing now.
Snarls. So as the end of the battlefield, reveal a mountain or plains from your hand. If you don't, they enter tapped.
That's right, yeah.
So, better early game, which is good, which is what you want your lands to be.
Yeah, I definitely use all iterations of these in 2-color decks, because you're always going to sort of be guaranteed to have that in your hand, one or the other.
And what I like though is for standard, it doesn't let you get greedy. Like in standard, you can't just play like all of these and have a 5-color deck, because they'll all just come in tapped and it'll be rubbish.
Yeah.
Whereas like sometimes they put lands in standard that are just too efficient and too easy to just be like, I now have every color.
Yeah. But
yeah, I think I've used they're the enemy ones, aren't they? Yeah, so I've used the allied color ones in decks before.
Yeah, Foreboding Ruins.
Yeah, that's it. And
the Mogus deck, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're good. You know, especially when I first started, they were the type of deck lands that were accessible. You know, budget wise and that. When I didn't really know what I was doing or buying. So yeah, can't knock them.
No, I still use them now. I mean, I'm a sucker for a budget land base. And it shows in my decks, you know. But yeah, they're really, especially in 2-color decks. Like Malfagor has the Foreboding Ruins because you only have red and black lands. So most of the time, you don't have many non-basics. You're going to have mountains or swamps in your hand. So this is basically a dual land for that.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone the opposite way with that Skullbriar deck now. I've got so many non-basics that it's not it's not worth it to run the Golgari version of whatever the land was.
Oh,
Woodland
really?
Cemetery, I think it's called. I've just taken it out because the risk is too high of it coming in tap now.
God, I want to see that
And I've
mana
got-
base now.
Yeah,
Then.
I've got so many other lands and stuff now. I just thought, oh yeah, I'll just chuck it in something else. I'll still use it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fair play.
fair play.
So yeah, nice little land cycle there. So be interesting to see how they do in standard as well. Any other lore hold cards from the main set before we move on to the next one?
Not from me, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Nothing in particular I want to shout out.
Cool. So the next one is Prismari cards. Yeah. So if there isn't anything worth mentioning, we'll just skip it entirely. But because I haven't got I haven't got any Prismari cards because I just don't play red and blue. So I'm just looking down the list now to see if there's anything.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'm with you on that.
I'll tell you what, there's not. A pinger!
There's no pingers.
Useless. That's what
You'd think there would be in this set as well, wouldn't you? You think that there's some sort of mage can ping someone for one. You would think that does exist, but that's a shame.
They're just too powerful. That's the problem.
Oh dear. So actually, no, we can mention this in passing as the command cycle, which was one of the first things that was spawned, wasn't it? The Lorehold, Prismari, Quandricks, Quill, Witherbloom command, which gives you the modal spells. So these are always good in Commander because they give you loads of options.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prismari command, that's it. Choose 2.
Yeah, so a lot of them do. Yeah, choose 2 for each different command. So maybe these will see play in Commander because they're good for just the stuff that you can do. I guess so it's like a lot of card slots in one card, isn't it? In your Commander deck.
Yeah, like this can be your artifact removal, and hand us your card draw as well, and a little bit of ramp in there if you feel the need. Like, it's obviously like none of them like are overly good. Nothing's like really efficient in it, but it's the flex slot. It lets you just like you say do 4 different things. Yeah,
and funnily enough, actually, we obviously I was planning to go through the Prismari cards, and then I went onto the command set, just a wild tangent. But funnily enough, I think the Prismari command is the best command out of all of these.
Oh, okay. I remember when they were first spoiled, and I sort of looked and then looked away, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I do find they always just look a bit underwhelming. You think, oh, there's not much there, but you do forget.
Yeah.
Like, when someone casts one, you're like, shit, you've really like messed the table up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely it's one of them I always overlook, but I've used similar cards in decks. I still do with multiple different options on.
Yeah. But I just think the Prismari one just gives you loads of lines to use. So you got 2 damage to any target. So that can be used to kill a utility creature. It can be used to punch someone in the face, kill a planeswalker. You can draw cards with it. You can ramp with it because you create a treasure token, and you can destroy an artifact with it. So I think it's probably one of the better ones, and it's one of the cheaply cost ones, and it's an instant as well, so you can play it on your end step and stuff like that.
Yeah, it definitely gives you many options in whatever situation you're in, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I think that's the best one. But yeah, maybe we'll see some of the command cards in our Commander games going forward, potentially. Possibly. Just going down the Prismari list now to see if there's any more. But if nobody else has got some, I haven't got any.
Yeah, Josh has just said, it's the closest to Colligan command.
What, the Prismari command?
I think that's what he's on about.
Yeah, because and can you type in Colligan command quickly and just see what that does again? I can't remember what it does.
Any idea how we spell Colligan?
Ghan. Yeah, there it is.
So yeah, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Target player discards a card. Destroy target artifact and 2 damage to any target. Well, yeah, the destroy artifact and 2 damage are literally the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just recycle.
Yeah, and this was such a staple in Standard back when it was available to be played. So yeah, definitely Prismari Command is on the same sort of lines as this. So I think that's going to be, a very good card in standard at least because of the stuff you can do with it.
And also the good thing of like both of them, again, they're only 3 mana, so
Yeah.
it lets you quickly do like a like big range of things.
Lovely. So yeah, Prismari. Well, I'm sure they'll have better cards in their Commander decks for obviously Commander. But next we've got a Quandricks. So any Quandricks cards from the main set.
I've got one here.
Yep.
That stood out. Double major. Costs green and blue. And it's just an instant for green and blue, and you copy target creature spell you control, except it isn't legendary if the spell is legendary.
Yeah, that's vile.
So it's just a copy something horrible and have 2 of the horrible creatures.
Yeah, even if they're legendary as well, they just lose that legendary status, which is ridiculous. If you have if you copy a bloody Coma Cosmos Serpent with this, you're going to get two serpents on everyone's turn, which is just ridiculous.
I think Aaron's just revealed his new standard deck to everyone.
Yeah, there we go. If anyone would be playing that, it'd be you, Aaron.
Yeah, that's a very good card.
Wait, what does Coma say again? Coma, what are them snakes? Just 3/3s.
Yeah,
I was
just
gonna say
3/3.
I wasn't sure if they had like +1/+1 counters on. I thought chuck a Quandricks in there and really have a party, but it just makes one bigger, pointless. Who needs dragons when you've got snakes?
Exactly.
Josh has said Krenko Infinite. If you want to have a really fun game about it, I suppose, Josh. Yep.
Who invited him?
Yeah. When does Krenko not go infinite? Or Kiki Jiki, one or the other. Pick one of them and any other card, you'll go infinite in the game.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's going to see a lot of play. That card.
Oh, I've just seen Body of Research. 3 green, 3 blue.
Yeah.
Just looks bonkers.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bonkers card. That was on the Mara teaser as well, wasn't it?
Crikey.
Yes. As long as you're not playing against Dimir Rogues in standard.
Yeah.
I pay 6 mana for a 2/2.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, no, I think for Commander that's going to be epic, isn't it? Like
that's going to be funny.
If you can ramp that out quick, and you've still got sort of nearly 90 cards in your.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. But it is just a big vanilla creature, so it can still be chumped and that. But you know, as soon as that walks on through, you're dead.
Yeah.
It does have a lot of +1/+1 counters though. If you can have some fun +1/+1 synergies,
yeah,
I think you could do some like. This is just basically put X +1/+1 battle counters just onto the battlefield with some things. There's stuff
there's Simic Ascendancy, isn't there? Where whenever you put a counter on it, you get a counter, and if you have 20 counters, you win the game or something. So this would instantly win you the game in Commander if you're running that, and you probably would be running Simic Ascendancy in a Commander deck that was based on tokens. Yeah.
There we go. Put the ideas out there.
Wow. Don't buy it in America. Buy it in Europe, and it's so much cheaper. It's only 69 cents in Europe. I ain't paying $3 for this.
No, I don't blame you.
Buy it from France and get it shipped to Texas. That's finance.
Texas, Tennessee. So yeah, that works with that. That works with that win con. So if you have the Simic Ascendancy win con in a Simic deck, that will definitely get you there. That Body of Research. Double major, that's good. Scrolling down the list.
You've got your generic Simic, Eureka Moment, 2 generic green blue, draw 2 cards, put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield.
Cracking.
Yeah.
Same old, isn't it?
They do love it now. They've clearly found this little formula and they love it. Growth Spiral and all those sorts of things. Uro did this.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
I guess if you're playing a Quandricks.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Quandricks.
Mm-hmm.
Quandricks deck. You ain't complaining, but
No.
I don't know.
I think another commander that might see play as well is Zimian, Quandricks Prodigy. So she's this legendary creature, human wizard for a green and a blue. So a very, very low to the ground CMC for a commander. And it says, pay 1, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. And you obviously have to tap her to do that. And then you can pay 4 and tap, draw a card. If you control 8 or more lands, draw 2 cards instead. So just generally just good Simic cares about lands commander, which is just very, very cheap.
Yeah, 4 mana, repeatable, draw 2 cards. It's pretty good.
Yeah. It does in the deck like that. It does basically read tap, pay 4, tap, draw 2 cards, isn't it? In that sort of deck, that's what it reads, basically. So yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's quite cool. Any more other Quandricks ones that stand out? Not really.
No, not for me.
Now should we move on? Which one was next? Silver Quill?
Silver Quill, yeah.
Silver Quill. Oh, there's a couple of little cool cards in this, I think.
Cool.
I liked this one, the Shadewing Laureate. Just a little flyer sort of thing. Whenever a creature you control flying dice, put +1/+1 counter target creature you control. Just, I don't know. I just like little stupid flyer decks. What can I say?
Yeah.
They're just a nuisance.
And the mana cost of that one as well is very unique. It's like white, black hybrid, and then black. So it's a very sort of unique mana cost as well. Like you got a hybrid symbol in there, and you got one of each.
Yeah, there's like a little cycle.
Yeah, they've done that.
There.
There is a cycle, yeah.
Right, there's the red-white one. Returned pass caller.
Yeah, so there's quite a few hidden cycles in there, which we probably won't go into too much detail about. But yeah, there's a few different cycles in there. There's also a cycle in there which has a hybrid mana 4 times. So I'm not sure if you can see any on there right now. I'm sure we'll see one in a minute. But I think there's 5 cards in there that have the 4 hybrid mana symbols of each school.
Manifestation Sage.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So you got one of each of those.
Equal to the size of your hand.
Size of your hand? Oh my goodness.
Just big.
Just massive.
What if you got no hands?
So what if you're playing the stupid madness deck? Why have you put this in here?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of cycles in there, but yeah. So Silver Quill cards, have you got any ones to stand?
I think there's a card. It's an instant. It's a black and a white. I forget the name, and I think it destroys like an artifact or enchantment or something. It's just you know what you're kind of getting, don't you? At this point with certain color combinations.
Yeah,
I've totally lost what it's called, to be honest.
Fracture.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's just something I'd probably use.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, 1 white, 1 black for destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. So it's like it's sort of like Mortify.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've used that at some point. I think that's just destroy target creature or enchantment, isn't it? So this one's just a little similar to that, I guess. So that's quite good.
Yeah.
Just very, very low.
Josh is just moaning about green-blue again.
I'll behave.
He says, Path of the Swords effects should be 1 mana again, since as Simic/green/blue. He didn't say /Quandricks, but I'll add it. /Quandricks are basically free spells.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, you know what to do, Mr. Dunn. Just play Quandricks from now on.
Yeah.
There's a card called Blot Out the Sky, which is just a bit stood out a bit.
Yeah, it's quite
cool.
cool.
I'd use it, but
Blot out the sky.
Blot out the sky.
Yes.
Good old X.
Create X tapped 2/1 flying white and black inkling creature tokens. If X is 6 or more, destroy all non-creature non-land permanents.
Yeah, pretty good way of destroying all the planeswalkers, enchantments, artifacts, all that sort of good stuff. So that's always good to see.
Yeah, wow, did not think of that killing planeswalkers.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I was just thinking artifacts and enchantments.
Goodbye, Ugin. Goodbye, Tybalt. Oh man, I hate Tybalt in standard. Such a dick. And then we got another good one I wanted to mention, which was similar to your one, Troy. Was one called Vanishing Verse. So yeah, just 1 white and 1 black for an instant. Exile target mono-colored permanent.
Oh yeah, right
there.
That's another cool one.
On the right hand side there. Yeah, Josh has said if he played Simic/Quandricks, we wouldn't want to play with him. Which is
we don't want to play with you now.
Only
joking. Tom's thinking it. I'm just saying it.
Yeah. See, this is why we need Troy on the cast. Do it. Not scared to back down.
No. Yeah, it would be a nightmare, I believe, if Josh the Dun started playing Quandricks.
Yeah. Do it then, Josh. See what you can come up with. See if we can handle it.
Well, he's got a good starting point because I think he's got one of the new commander decks.
Yeah. I think he didn't. So didn't you get them all, and he got them all as well, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was kind of that fear of missing out.
Yeah.
But we'll see if it was worth it in the end.
Yeah, it's because last year, obviously, all the I think we were speaking about this in the car on the way to the bike ride. We went to a nice big bike ride at the weekend. But yeah, I think last the Ikoria set had those cards in there which said you can cast it for free if you have your commander in play. So I think I think we were sort of expecting maybe that sort of mechanic to come back, maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't blame you, to be honest, because those cards were ridiculous in value.
Still are.
Yeah, exactly. They still are. I got the Lawhold one, but that's pretty much it. I wish I got the Simic one now, just for that bloody Kraken. But I can just buy that as a single for 90p, so it's all right.
Exactly. If that's all you want it for.
But yeah, we'll get into that Kraken later because that's part of the thingy. So any more? I think there was one more I saw on here, which was part of the Silver Quill Color Pie, and that's Selfless Glyph Weaver. And then there's a sorcery on the back. So again, this is part of another cycle, which is a MDFC, Motor Double Face card. So we've got Selfless Glyph Weaver on the front. So this is 1 white and 2 others for a human cleric. And these are 2/3. And you can exile him to give creatures you control indestructible till end of turn.
Ooh.
So it's just a nice little deterrent for all of your enemies to do like board wipes. You can just exile this then, and all my stuff gains indestructible. And then we got the flip side of that, which is basically the exact opposite. So choose a creature or planeswalker, then destroy all other creatures and planeswalkers. So it's again, we Command Zone spoke about this in one of their other episodes with regards to building commander decks, but this acts as both protection for your board and destruction of everyone else's board on one card. So it's just it's a double-edged sword, really. So this will see play in all white-black decks, I think, because it does both protection and annihilation. Yeah,
you've got the option there, haven't you?
Yeah,
and it's whichever one you cast, isn't it? You just choose.
Yeah.
Choose one to cast.
Yeah, and the great thing about this is that if the other side dies, can you just flip that over again, Tom? Because this is the front face of the card.
That's
right?
it. Yeah.
So if this dies or goes to the graveyard, the face up side goes to the graveyard. So you can bring this back with Sun Titan, like constantly on attack, and you can give all your stuff indestructible, or you can, and then it goes to the graveyard again. You can keep bringing it back. So you can keep bringing it back for this side, but if you can get it back into your hand again somehow, you can cast it for the other side. So
yeah, exactly.
And bringing creatures back is pretty easy.
Just waiting for a comment from Josh about Sun Titan.
Aaron, what does exile mean in the game of Magic?
Oh yeah, that's true.
They got him.
We got him. You can't do that.
Yeah,
that's true.
Unfortunately, Selfless
figure out a way.
Has to exile itself. So what you need to do there is just play a custom commander that lets you put stuff from exile back pretty much wherever you want.
Absolutely.
And then you can just repeat the process.
That's it. That's the one. That's what we need.
And luckily, I think those custom commanders are usually in black and white color pairs, aren't they?
Yeah, normally. I think they're all colours, to be honest.
All colours. No,
Yeah.
wasn't the original? Wasn't Josh's one actually black and white? Or was
Black,
it blue?
white, and blue.
Ah, of course. Wait, because wasn't it only two mana as well? Wasn't it like pay hybrid blue black plus white? So it was easy, nice and easy to cast and get out.
Yes. Brilliant. The little throwbacks we have on this bloody podcast. Right, so I still think it's good, even though I misread the interaction with Untitled. I still think that's good, though. It still takes two slots in one card, which is nice.
It's really good if you're really far ahead. You play the front and protect yourself. If you're really far behind, play the other side and destroy everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
So that's it. That's Silver Quill Standouts.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been the Commander deck title, Silver Quill Standouts.
What's it actually? Silver
Quill Statement.
Boring.
It's trying to make a statement, is it? If it was standouts, they'd only have about 4 cards in the deck, wouldn't they?
That's it, yeah. Brilliant.
Right.
And then we got the Witherbloom school.
Witherbloom.
Let's just get on to the actual commander cards. They're so much better.
What's that crazy creature in Witherbloom colours? Is it like it's like a massive, it's like an 11/10 creature, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the demon.
Yeah, the demon. It wouldn't be a podcast without a big demon.
Demagogue.
It's just like it's all that's it.
Demagogue Titan. When it attacks
so again, this is the
creature.
Yeah, whenever it attacks a lot of sack creature, which is going to be okay, I guess, because you're going to be building a lot. You're going to be having a lot of those pests in the deck.
If you've got a lot of pests, then see you later.
Yeah. So if you think about it from a standard point of view, that is a ridiculous card, but it just dies to removal.
Yeah.
So
can be chump blocked forever.
Yeah. So it's going to be hard to get that through. But worth noting that this is part of the 4-color hybrid cycle as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's definitely worth a mention because that is outrageous.
I really want it to work in standard. In fact, I know how I'll make it work. Give it trample with the thing from Ikoria, the trample guy, Mentor.
Or you could just put a rune on it from Kaldheim, the one that gives you trample.
Yes. So I was thinking Hornbash Mentor. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he comes down on 3. The other one comes down on 4. It doesn't work nicely. But anyway, we'll find ways.
We'll find a way. Definitely worth a mention though, because sacrificing creatures in Golgari with Witherbloom will be quite good in this, because obviously you're sacking the pests. When the pests die, they give you a life, etc. And speaking of pests, we have the guy I'm going to be building around. That's Blex, the Vexing Pest. The Vexing Pest. There he is. Look.
Oh, Blex.
This card.
Finally a card designed by Wizards that cares about insects and spiders without having to be a Morophon type card that says when he enters, choose a creature type. It actually cares about spiders, insects, snakes, and pests and bats on the face card. So is that maybe a prelude to Dungeons and Dragons? Maybe we'll see some better spiders, better insects in that set, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah,
they're sort of like quite a classic little dungeon beast fight.
No, they are, yeah. And in the Dungeons and Dragons as well, there's these creatures called Driders, which are basically half man, half spider. They're like drow sort of creatures, so hopefully we'll see that in there. But yeah, Blex is cool because he's an MDFC commander as well. So he's got a sorcery on the back and a creature on the front. But yeah, his face cost is 1 green and 2 for a 3/2 pest. And it says other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders get +1/+1. So it buffs your entire team, which is nice. And then when he dies, you gain 4 life. So it's like 4 times better than a normal pest.
Definitely.
4 life when he dies instead. And then we've got a nice sort of dredgy sort of Golgari Witherbloom spell on the back of the card.
Yeah.
Search for Blex, black, and 2. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put any number of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard, and you lose 3 life for each card you put into your hand this way, which I think is quite good.
Yeah, that's your standard Witherbloom sorcery, isn't it?
Just chucking stuff in the grave, and then if you want to draw it, you can pay the life for it.
Yeah.
And that's good. 15 life, draw 5 cards.
Yeah. Like Grizzlebrand, legal.
If only.
This is it. Turns out Blex, this is our little story theory. Blex is Grizzlebrand in disguise, come to kill Liliana.
Whoa.
Heard it here first.
Yeah.
You'll be sorry, folks, when that happens.
Plex is Grizzlebrand in disguise. Wow. Brilliant. Oh, dear. Right, moving on from that.
Mm-hmm.
We've got another ridiculous card just above Blex. Well, actually, only above Blex on my list.
Tangle Trap, I can only assume you mean then.
No. No.
Oh, that's a classic green spell.
It's your classic kill flyer or artifact.
Kill a flyer.
I don't know how they managed to print this in so many different ways, but yet they do.
It's like Crushing Canopy, isn't it? That sort of style.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got Harness Infinity.
What is that?
So it's an instant.
This one.
For yeah.
Cool. It's an ultimatum, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, this one.
Exchange your hand and graveyard for 7 mana.
Then you've got to exile it, so you can't recur it.
Just
but yeah,
dump everything you need. Get it back.
It's interesting.
Exchange. It doesn't count as drawing or anything, but still,
No.
there's still plenty of mayhem things you could do.
Oh yeah, especially Commander. You know, you're ditching stuff in the grave all the time. You know, cycling through your deck. You exchange hands. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, that's definitely worth a mention.
It will definitely be played. Definitely, won't it?
Yeah, we'll see some ridiculous things with that. Just looking down the list again now of any others. A lot of these we'll see play in standard, but not so much Commander.
It's the thing, isn't it? It's a standard kind of set, so
I think there's loads of cards that sound really fun for limited. I do think this might be like a really fun limited set, as long as something's not like stupidly busted, and it's not just like, oh, you should just like hard draft Witherbloom aggro or something stupid. But I think it does sound like these could be like real fun little archetypes.
There was this one called Rushed Rebirth. I think I saw it in a Commander group or something. They were talking about it.
Yep.
So
it's just green and black, isn't it? That's the one.
Yeah, an instant. Choose target creature. When that creature dies this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser mana value. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. Then do the shuffle.
So it's kind of like, I think you can just target anything, can't you? It doesn't have to be one of your creatures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
target something. Yeah, target an opponent's big creature, I guess, and basically search for pretty much any of your creatures.
Like, what I want to do with this is have a fun like political game, and you'd be like, oh no, Troy's got like a big bad Eldrazi out, we need to kill it. Oh, Aaron, please kill it for me. And then you're like, okay, I'll kill it. And then as soon as you do it, I'm like, pow, rebirth that motherfucker, and I'm getting probably Jalira out. And we'll all think, well, that was a waste of time, Tom.
What a waste. It was a Rush Rebirth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. No, that completely bypassed me. That you could choose someone else. You can choose someone else's creature when it dies.
Yeah, I tend to do that. I tend to not read the cards properly and think about them. You just move on, don't you? But then you think it just says target creature, any creature.
Yeah. No, that's good. Good shout. Like if someone says, right, I'm going to sack this for value, you'd be like, oh, okay, before you do that in response, I'm going to choose your creature that you're sacking, and then it's going to die, and I go get something. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, mate. See you later.
Yeah, brilliant. Yes, that's a good one, definitely. So yeah, we've got a destroy target non-land permanent. So black, green, and 2 for destroy target non-land permanents. That's functionally like a Maelstrom Pulse. So that's quite cool. And green and black, standard green and black stuff. Apart from that, it's all about sort of gaining life and
a lot of life gain, isn't it? I do feel like these all feel different enough from their counterparts in Ravnica. Like I said, like you don't have green life, you don't have like really Golgari life gain sort of things in Ravnica. Like there's like a sort of small element of it, but they've sort of really gone to town on it here. Like, and the white black rule have gone flyers and things, and they have managed to find like something else that's in the color pie to really like hone in on to make them feel different.
Yeah, definitely. It's like the lore hold is not just about attacking, not just about double strike and attacking. It's about sort of graveyard recursion and artifacts and stuff, isn't it? So
yeah, obviously that's the one they've nailed 100%. That's the one they've managed to find an absolutely different way of even looking at red and white.
Yeah. So I think it'll be a good time now just to go into the precons that have been spoiled, because they give you the true flavor of what each school is trying to do. Because obviously Commander decks are very flavorful, aren't they? So there's actually a little, well, the article that I've got up at least from just MTG Wiki just gives you a little sort of statement as to what each deck plans to do.
Yeah. Which one are you looking at first?
Yeah, I read about it gave a rundown, didn't it, at the start of whenever, about each professor and what they kind of do and hope to achieve, kind of thing. But I can't remember any of it.
So we'll start off with the.
Hopefully we'll find it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll start off with the Silver Quill one.
Okay.
Silver Quill Statement is what the deck's called.
Yeah.
And this is the white and black one, obviously.
Yeah.
So on the description for Silver Quill Statement is a 100-card Commander pre-constructed deck with a politics and aggro theme. So that's what MTG Wiki says: politics and aggro. So it cares about sort of making your opponents attack each other, but when they do, it does something for you. It's really, really strange. But there's some really awesome new cards in the deck. A lot of them will appear in the standard set, but there's loads of awesome cards in this deck. And it's led by Brina the Demagogue, which is a bird warlock. Not sure if you got that up there. Yeah.
Good old Brina.
Yeah.
Brina, sorry. God, messed it up already.
Oh, here we go. We got some nice comments here. Want to become famous by followers and viewers? Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Send us details.
Bigfollows.com.
Yeah, brilliant.
I'll direct them to another website, Big Batty.
Yeah. So the face cards of this deck, obviously, it says aggro and politics. So this creature is 1 white, 1 black, 1 other for a legendary bird warlock, 1/3 with flyer. Whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents, the attacking player draws a card, and you put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. What on earth is that doing?
Making people not want to attack you.
Yeah.
It is, exactly as it said. Aggro politics. It makes everyone else want to fight and not you.
Yeah. That's just weird. Like, weird to have a white and black deck that cares about aggro and attacking, isn't it?
I like it.
Very strange. Yeah, it's cool.
Like you said, it's something different, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's the face card of the deck. Have you got any sort of standouts from that deck, Troy, for the Silver Quill one?
Silver Quill. There's a creature called Fane the Broker, which is a new card, I believe. He's just got lots of tap effects. Just reminds me of Deathrite Shaman or something.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you can tap him to do multiple things. Sacrifice a creature, put 2 +1/+1 counters on a target creature. So you could obviously give it to one of your opponent's creatures. Be a bit, political.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could do that.
You could remove a counter from a creature you control, create a treasure token.
Yeah.
And sacrifice an artifact, create a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. Or you can pay 3 and black to untap him. So, yeah. He does quite a few things.
That's a lot of stuff. And again, he's got an infinite mana on there as well. So if you can untap him constantly, you can just keep doing the stuff, can't you?
Exactly.
So,
I don't know. Anyone else got anything?
yeah, I've got again, it fits into that sort of theme. It's Cunning Rhetoric. So it's an enchantment for a black and 2.
Yeah.
Whenever an opponent attacks you and or more planeswalkers you control, exile the top card of that player's library, and you may play that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana of any color to cast it. So again, it deters people from attacking you because you're just going to be able to cast spells off the top of their library, which is quite interesting. So it just incentivizes people with big creatures to attack somebody else instead.
Exactly. There's an artifact in the deck as well, I think. Where is it? Tempting Contract costs 4 to play.
Yep.
What does it say? So at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent may create a treasure token. For each opponent who does, you create one. So kind of like, do you want one? If you want one, then I get one, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good command card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's ways of abusing and stuff, you know. People come up with all sorts of things.
Yeah, that's a cool command card, definitely. But I've seen a few people like Pleasant Kenobi say that this should be a white card rather than an artifact because it gives you access to a load of treasure, but it can be done in any color. So I don't know. I feel like it could have been a white card.
Yeah, it does feel.
You could definitely see that. Yeah,
it's not quite taxing, but it is like
tempting.
Yeah,
it is very tempting. Yes.
Yeah.
Balancing, as we like to call it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few cards that are trying to do the whole sort of balancing thing, which is quite cool.
This where's this just gone? Where's it just gone? Victory Chimes. 3 mana artifact. Untap it during each other player's untap step. A player of your choice adds 1 colorless mana. 1 perfect in Two-Headed Giant, because you can give your ally some mana.
Yeah.
But
brilliant.
also just, I don't know, 1 free mana every turn. I think that sounds pretty good. That's like a tap for 4 mana rock. But you have to sort of spread it out. I think decks that have lots of small spells is what I'll go for.
Is that a new card or is that in Strixhaven? I think that's in.
I think it's just a reprint from somewhere really old.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but yeah.
Battle Bond, the original Two-Headed Giant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's worth mentioning Fane. I think Fane the Broker, and obviously you've got Brina, and you usually get 3 legendaries, don't you, in these decks?
Yeah, so there's another one as well. There's Felisa.
Felisa, that's it. So having looked back sometime last week, I think it was, I had a discussion with Mr. Dunn about some of the legendary creatures you do get, like the new ones in these decks that aren't the commanders, and how many of them are kind of like really popular now, like one being Nakusa and things like that have just come from these decks. But unfortunately, nothing's jumped out at me this year, but we shall see. It's be interesting to see what kind of takes over.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the last decks as well, they gave you 4 options rather than 3. I think.
Wow. Yeah.
Because what was the last one that came out? It was Ikoria, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it because they were 3 color?
Oh, maybe it was then. Yeah, maybe because there were 3 color ones.
So they give you more sort of options.
But even like Windgrace, like Lord Windgrace back in 2018, again, that was 3 color as well.
Yeah.
Gave you Thantis the Warweaver, Gyrus, Waker of Corpses, and Windgrace. So it gave you 3 options rather than 2. Because in this, I think you only get 2, unless I think there's
there's also Taser at the bottom here, a reprint of Taser, which would be your 4th one.
Which is quite a popular commander, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't it? Yeah.
But it's a reprint as well, though. So I think they used to include 3 original cards.
Yeah, I think we have got 3 originals, haven't we?
Yeah, there's
with
Brina, Fane, and we just spoke about
Felisa.
And then Taser's a bonus.
Yeah.
And then, as always, there's a few sort of mono-coloured ones. Not that they can necessarily pilot this deck, but there's a few more mono-coloured legends in there as well.
Right, I
Like,
thought there was.
Zatolpa.
Yeah, I thought.
Nils, discipline enforcer and things like that. He looks okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good mono white one, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially for this sort of strategy.
So yeah, it's be interesting to see if any of these second in command, let's call them, take off.
Yeah.
Like they have done in the past. So yeah.
Yeah, there's always a few that do so, isn't there? There's one in the Prismari colours, which I think is going to be better than the Face Commander, and I think Command Zone spoke about it briefly, so we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, I think I might have seen that.
Yeah, which is it's going to be ludicrous. But apart from that, yeah, you got your standard land base and other sort of reprints from the set and reprints from classic sort of white and black cards. So
I thought
Yeah.
quickly
Seems
just run
like-
through the expensive cards.
Yep.
So there's Keen Duelist, which is new. 1 and a
Mhm.
black. At the beginning of your upkeep, you and target opponent each reveal the top card of your library. You each lose life equal to the mana value of the card revealed by the other player. You each put the card you revealed into your hand. So very good if you're playing against someone playing big stuff, like someone's just stacked their deck for like big Eldrazi, they're trying to cheat out. You can be like, okay, then you can try and risk taking like 10 life.
Cool. Yeah.
Scholarship Sponsor is 449. So
Yep.
3 and a white for 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, each player who controls fewer lands than the player who controls the most lands searches their library for any number of basic lands less than or equal to the difference. Put those cards onto the battlefield tap, then shuffles. So basically, everyone gets the same amount of lands.
Balance.
And also punishes
balance.
greedy mana bases. If you've got all non-basics, Troy,
Yep. Possibly.
you don't get shit.
Oh, what a shame. It's rewarding the peasants.
Exactly.
It is. Yeah.
As filthy mono red players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I think that's a great white card because it just balances the playing field against like Simic players who've got 8 lands on the field and you've
Yeah.
only got 3.
Yeah.
that's it.
You get out 5 lands when this comes out. So yeah, it's basically like an explosive vegetation for white. Is basically what it is. You know, the pay 4 mana, get 2 lands. It's basically what it is. But it's got a body attached to it, so it's potentially better. But then it also benefits your opponents as well, doesn't it? I guess.
Yeah. Again, it lets you all catch up. As we said,
Yeah.
balance. White is balance.
Mm-hmm.
That I think is fair.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think, in Commander, it could make a game better, I guess, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
I
all
think
been there, sat slogging it out.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you can use it as a fun like political thing. Like if someone's missed a land drop, you can be like, I'm going to play this, but I know you're
Yeah.
going to benefit the most out of this. You don't get to come back at me for a while, sort of thing.
Yeah. No, it's definitely it just definitely feeds back into the description at the top is politics and aggro. It's a lot of politic cards and cards that will gain you allies to attack the player who's ahead or winning the game blatantly, but then saving you from a political standpoint. So definitely very good indeed. Any more expensive ones or just them?
There's Deathbringer Liege, which is $7.
yeah.
Other white creatures get +1/+1. Other black creatures, they're both you control, get ++1. Whenever you cast a white spell, you may tap target creature. Whenever you cast a black spell, you may destroy target creature if it's tapped.
Oh, baby.
Very good.
Is that a reprint?
Yeah, that is a reprint. They're
Yeah.
originally from like the Mirrodin, Lorwyn.
Yeah.
Not Mirrodin. What's it? Lorwyn, Shadowmoor sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morning
I used the Golgari one at
Yeah.
one point, Creekwood.
Yeah, I did as
I
well.
recognise that card style.
That's cool. Like that.
What we've got down there, Ink Shield. So is that the one we said about a minute ago when we were talking about the main one? Prevent all combat damage that we dealt to you this turn. For each 1 damage prevented this way, create a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying.
Cool, that could be devastating.
Crater Hoof says what?
Yeah,
Like
that is
cool.
cool.
That does seem like it's a finisher in response to someone else's finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a counter spell, isn't it? It's counter spell plus game ender.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's mental. Yeah, that's very good.
one to watch out for, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I do like, because like Crit Hoof too often is just like, if this resolves, I win the game. Where it's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
if it resolves and now don't respond to it with one particular card, I win the game.
That's prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to you this turn. So I guess you'd still be able to kill the other players with the Crater Hoof, but
Yeah.
you and that player will be left at the end, and you got a stack of 2/1s.
Well,
Flyers as well, aren't they?
They'll be tapped out with their stupid Crit
Yeah.
Hoof.
Yeah, exactly.
It's green, man. It's going to be tapped out.
Yeah.
That'll be me. No, I win with Crit Hoof.
Yeah.
No, you don't, you stupid idiot.
Yeah. So I mean, on arena, you'd be like, "Oh, good game," when you drop your Crater Hoof, and then someone plays this and just blows you out of the water, and you just be like, "Nice," just concede before they can do anything.
The mage was like, "Good game, nice. Good game, nice. Good game, nice." So the last two cards are Tempting Contract, as we spoke about a minute ago, and Cunning Rhetoric as well. They're the other two sort of pricey cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both mentioned those earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
Both of those. Lovely.
Also, just note, Arcane Signet is getting reprints all round. Celebrate.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Soul Ring Signet, here we go. that play is available to be played in these decks. Soul Ring Signet, turn 1, 4 mana on turn 3, or whatever it is. No, turn 4, turn 2. So that was the first one, led by Brina the Demagogue. So the next one is Prismari Performance, led by Sapphire Thunder Conductor or Collector.
Oh god, yeah.
So yeah, this is a misprinted card, but never mind. Nobody wants to use this anyway as a commander. It's the other one that they want to use. So this, yeah,
he looks like an art professor, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Or an arts professor. It's kind of like Beethoven crossed with Prince.
Yeah.
Crossed with Einstein.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Anyway, I can't remember what was good about this deck, to be honest.
So this deck's all about instants and sorceries theme.
Yeah.
So yeah, just cares about casting sorceries and instants and getting value from that, I guess. So we'll start with the main face of the deck, which is Sapphire Thunder Collector. So red, blue, and 2 for a legendary human shaman with Magecraft. So Magecraft just is basically whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you get something.
Or copy it.
Or copy it. Yeah. So that's definitely worth noting, of course. Hopefully Calamax goes up in value with all this Magecraft going on. Whenever you cast instant or sorcery spell or copy an instant or sorcery, you scry 1. If that spell's mana value is 5 or greater, you get a 4/4 red and blue elemental creature. If that spell's mana value is 10 or greater, which is never going to happen, it deals 10 damage to an opponent chosen at random. Not even a target that you want to choose.
Yeah.
Some vile smasher rubbish right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It always goes to the one you don't want.
Yeah, exactly. But overpowered and two-headed giant, I might say.
Yep.
So.
But yeah, I think there was only like 2 spells in this whole deck, isn't there, with like 10 or greater mana value.
Yeah.
Well, there's only Apex of Power here.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of X spells, Epic Experiment, Muse Vortex, and I think that's literally it. That's your only way of getting to 10.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
That was my first thought. I was like, oh, how many massive spells are there? Oh, a couple. Well, it kind of defeats the point of it being the commander, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'd expect this to be crammed full of X spells, just full of like Fireball, the Red X, Destroy X enchantments, artifacts sort of thing. Just all them sort of things that you have the ability to late in the game just constantly like hit a 10 drop, hit a 10 drop, hit a 10 drop. But early games still use something of effect. But no.
Yeah,
but they went in. I think someone did a video on it. I can't remember who it was, but X spells don't work with this commander though.
Oh, the X being
because
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because whenever you cast instant or sorcery, you scry 1, and then if that spell's mana value is 5 or greater, you do the thing. If that spell's mana value is 10 or greater, So is it referring to whenever you cast instant or sorcery?
No, it's not, is it? It's Prismari.
Whenever you cast it's grown. So no, yeah, it's the spell you're casting is the mana value it's looking at. It's not looking at the one that you scry.
Ah, right.
No, it's looking at what you've cast.
Ah, I see. Right.
So
okay.
I guess
Yes.
But you're gonna have to pump every spell for that. But yeah, I just didn't really get it.
No.
That part. I mean, the 5 part for a 4/4 elemental creature. Yeah, fair enough. But
yeah, maybe I guess that's really what this is aiming for. There's a lot of sort of 5 and 6 mana spells. So I think maybe it's aiming for that. It wants you to churn out a load of 4/4s and maybe occasionally have a big powerful 10 Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the element of surprise and also that kind of fear, like, haha, yeah, I've got loads of 10 spells in my deck.
Yeah.
Jokes. No, I haven't.
Loads of extra turns and stuff.
Yeah. Well, maybe, yeah.
But I think the other command that's in the deck is going to be better, I think, and that's Veyran, Voice of Duality.
Let's have a look. Definitely seen that before. Where is it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Literally.
Oh yeah, yeah. As soon as I see the artwork.
Harmonicon.
Yeah, that's the best way of describing it.
Yeah.
But with a nice little bonus, it gets +1/+1 whenever you mage
turn.
Yeah.
Nice, which you'll be doing all the time.
Well, it's great because it goes infinite with like copy spells. So if you play a copy spell, so you play one spell and then you play a copy spell, but you get the copy spell to copy the copy spell. So then you get infinitely larger. It's like the classic Calamax combo. Is if you can copy a copy spell that's on the stack, you just get infinite copies.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Veyran will get infinitely large. And obviously it's going to get infinitely large anyway, because whenever you cast an instant spell or copy an instant spell that causes a triggered ability, you get to do it again and again. So copy spell is going to be the bread and butter of one of these decks with Veyran in.
Yeah, I'd imagine there's plenty of little copy ability spells in here.
Yeah, there's loads. A couple of new ones as well. So standout cards in these sets, any?
Octavia Living Thesis.
Yeah, I had it on my list, but I just don't think I'd ever use it, to be honest. It is fun. It's a fun new elemental creature, elemental legendary octopus.
Exactly. And there's 8 8s on it.
Oh, is there?
8 in the mana cost. 8. The spell costs 8 less to cast. If you've got 8 instant sorcery cards in your graveyard, ward 8.
Oh, crikey.
Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target creature gets power and toughness 8/8 until end of turn, and Octavia itself is an 8/8.
Oh yeah,
that's 8 8s on the card.
It's a 10 cost.
Yeah. But it costs 8 less.
It costs 8 less, so is it a 10 cost?
Sorcery cards.
Yeah, 8
it
or more instant.
8 less for every 8 instant and sorcery cards, so that late in the game you never have command attacks either.
No,
that's true. Yeah, it could be quite good on as its own as a commander on its own, but it's just mono blue, isn't it?
It is mono blue,
which does limit it a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think. Well, I don't know what people do with it. Someone will find something that makes it absurd.
Yeah, it's definitely worth mentioning, though. Obviously, another legendary octopus, apart from Lorthros the Tidemaker, one of my favourites. Definitely worth mentioning.
There's what else we got? There's a legendary red human wizard. Speaking of that, Rionya? I don't know. Fire Dancer.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Yeah, looks very cool.
So that's 3 red for a 3/4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create X tokens that are copies of another target creature you control, where X is 1 plus the number of instant sorcery spells you've cast this turn. They gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. So I think this is the one I spoke to you about, Aaron, wasn't it? For Atali?
Yeah.
Atali / Neheb deck.
Yeah, extra combats and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think this is the one, isn't it? It just instantly goes infinite if you've got a creature that creates combat steps, such as wild, what's it called? Combat Celebrant from Amonkhet.
Yeah.
Because that one, when you attack, you exert it, and you get an extra combat step, which then you get with Reuna, you create a copy of it, attack, exert it, have another combat step. So if you've got even just like a 1/1 that's unblockable, you just keep
You win
forever or something silly.
Yeah.
And there's millions of combos with this. I think again Kiki Jiki probably combos with it.
Copies of another type creature you control, but if you copied a legendary creature, it would just die, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like Hellkite Charger as well. Again, like those ones that you can get extra combats with if you pay the mana. I guess could work with stuff like that.
There's what was this card? I think Josh was talking about this card, or I don't know if there's one in each deck or anything. It's the suspend card, but you play it and then suspend it.
Oh yes. Yeah.
It's a draw spell, isn't it? Where's it gone?
Inspiring Refrain.
Yes, is it? Is that the one?
Cool.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So it costs 6.
Down the bottom here.
4 blue, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Draw 2 cards, exile it with 3 time counters on it. Suspend 3. What does it say?
So basically,
yeah.
You can either suspend, like the first time you cast it, you can choose to either suspend it for 3 mana or
That's
cast
it,
for 6. But no matter what, it will happen forever. Like once it resolves, it puts itself back into suspension, and then 3 turns later, it comes back out again.
So yeah, every few turns you're drawing 2 cards.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it just keeps going.
Yeah, it seems like it's just like an infinite loop throughout the game. So as long as you're knocking up the turns, then you're drawing 2 cards.
Obviously, 3 turns is a lot in Magic, obviously.
Yeah.
But still, it's a good way to get a lot of card advantage over a long time if you can keep it going. Or if you've got ways of getting rid of the counters. I don't know if there is. There must be some sort of tricks you can do with suspend somewhere.
There probably is, isn't there? Or just lots of counter removal. Or it's just one of them that if I'm playing against it, I probably forget all about it.
Yeah.
And then I'll draw 2 cards for that. Oh yeah, oh god, forgot about that. I'll remember, and then you don't remember. Yeah.
I think it's good. Yeah, I mean, what would you say like an average Commander game is? Like 10 turns, 11 turns?
Yeah, it's about that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say 10.
So how many activations will you get?
2.
2.
If you've had to play it for the cost, you're not going to get the first one about turn 6, next one about turn 9.
Yeah, so you're probably going to get 4 cards from 1 card.
Yeah.
Where's it?
So yeah,
there must be silly things you can do with it. It's just.
Yeah, it's quite cool because obviously it can't be interacted with. Because obviously you play it as a sorcery, then it exiles itself. So it's not like having a Phyrexian Arena out, which could just be removed. It's just going to be guaranteed.
Of course,
cards.
yeah, we're back to exile again, aren't we? So it's kind of like.
So it can't be interacted with. Whereas if you had like a Rhystic Study out or Consecrated Sphinx, these things can be removed, whereas this can't, which is quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So the other one in this deck is Rousing Refrain.
Yeah.
Where's that? I can't see it on here. There it is, Rousing Refrain. 3 red, and you add red for each card in target opponent's hand until end of turn. You don't lose this as phases and steps end.
So you just keep getting bursts of mana.
Yep.
Bursts of mana. Target opponent, so I guess you choose whoever's got the most.
Yeah.
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 There's always someone with a stacked hand out there, isn't there?
What if they played that card when it said, "Oh, swap your hand with your library"? Is that literally putting your graveyard or whatever into your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you play that, and then you get like an 80 mana to do whatever you want with.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Just a big X spell, blaze them in the face, dead.
So I found the
Ridiculous.
sort of original cycle of these is this Reality Strobe, Festering March. So you can either return a creature, return target permanent to its owner's hand. Creatures your opponent control get -1/-1. Creatures you control get +3/+3. I don't know if there's any other ones there. Deal 2 damage to any target.
Oh, that's quite cool though. I didn't realise they had more of them, but I
Yeah.
think it's a cool space to design in, because once it's been suspended, you can't sort of interact with it, which is quite cool.
It's like a bit like phasing, but for spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Fun.
Phasing.
I'm just looking at the other new cards now, see if anything sort of stands out.
Well, this is full of fantastic reprints for anyone that loves good cards, such as Atali, Charmbreaker Devils, Wildfire Devils.
You love those devils, don't you?
They're literally the 3 best cards in Commander right now. And they've been reprinted.
Talrand's in there.
Yes, Talrand, fantastic. There's a new version of Talrand as well. Is it this one? No. Do you know which one I mean? Or not? This one? No. Maybe it's not even in this deck. Where is it? It's blue. And basically, whenever you cast a spell, it's like Metallurgic Summonings. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you create an XX spell, but it's on a body, so it can be your commander as well.
Ah.
I have no idea what it's called, though.
There's a couple of cool reprints in there, though, like you said. It's pretty cool.
It must be in another deck. Maybe it must be in the Quandricks deck then instead.
What, just a mono blue card?
Yeah, it's mono blue. Yeah.
Yeah, there's loads of effects out there that give you like creatures whenever you cast a spell. There's obviously Talrand's in here. There's Murmuring Mystic.
This one, Deeka, Fractal Theorist. So yeah, it's in Quandricks. So we'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah. But yeah, just want to cast loads of spells, want to get loads of copies, want to trigger loads of things. It's not really personally my sort of play style, casting loads and loads of different stormy spells, but it's just cool to see more stuff caring about copying and all that sort of stuff, really.
Yeah, it looks all right. We'll give it a go, like I said. Can't not. Gonna have it in hand at the time.
Yeah.
My big issue of these decks are they're like this, which is a bit too loose, and sometimes it works really well and you have like really fun synergies. Sometimes your deck just doesn't really do anything, and then it ends up just becoming like a super streamlined, very dedicated combo style, and then it's just boring to play. I
don't think this is going to be the deck I'll play first or multiple times. I don't know.
But there might be a few things in here you might sort of pick out sort of good bits.
Exactly. For
other good decks.
You get new cards, you get decent reprints of stuff. For the cost of the decks, you can't really go wrong.
No.
Especially if you buy all 5, obviously you get a slight discount as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. Have a little face off with the decks at some point, hopefully.
Yeah, straight out of the box.
Yep, exactly that.
I think they'll be enjoyed doing that as well. You'll see everyone's sort of strengths and weaknesses, which is good.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a Prismari one.
So again, just to run through big prices on this one is Veyran, as we spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting a lot of attention.
Reinterpret, which is counter target spell. You may cast a spell from with an equal or lesser mana value from your hand without paying its mana cost. And that's literally
a reprint.
I don't think so. I think that's new.
Reinterpret. That is. It seems like it's new. Yeah.
It's new.
Yeah.
Only in Commander. And that's literally it for if you want high value cards in the Prismari deck.
Hmm.
Compared to how many we ran through in Silver Quill, and it just shows you
Yeah.
that this is only worth $81, whereas this is half $112.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen. Prices go up and down. There might be some
Yep,
things
yep,
that
yep.
people are missing in this one. Maybe something's going to shoot up, but
There's a bit of a disparity there.
yeah.
That is interesting. But yeah, I think the main standout card is one that copies triggered abilities of spells. I think we're going to see a lot of decks that are going to wreak havoc with that ability, so that'll be interesting. So yeah, funnily enough, the one that is the one that's the lessest value, cares about the secondary commander, which is interesting. So yeah, go on to the next one.
Yep.
Yeah, let's leave that one behind.
Yeah. So the next one is Witherbloom Witchcraft.
Woohoo!
So this is the black and green one, and that's led by Willow Dusk Essence Seer.
Looking lovely as ever.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
I'm guessing it's female.
Yeah. God knows. But
God.
this is the Dryad Druid, Tom. So you were right when you said it was a Dryad Druid in the spoilers.
Thank you very much.
Because it's got this like tree folk-esque body, which is what dryads are, like tree folk, aren't they? Sort of. So yeah, nice little shout there.
It does look cool.
But what does this one do?
Gain, isn't it? It's lots of life gain, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, black and green life gain and stuff. Where is it? What does she do?
She's at low cost. They're all quite low cost, I believe, aren't they? I'm not sure. So I can't complain at the cost of these commanders.
Yeah,
No.
Mana value, sorry.
3, 4, and 3. So you can for was it 3/3? Pay 1 and tap to choose another target creature. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of life you've gained this turn, or the amount of life you lost this turn, whichever is greater. Activate only as a sorcery. So that does also mean you've got to keep track of separately how much life you've gained and lost each turn.
Yeah.
Which could be confusing sometimes.
No, if in doubt, just guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing. You have to note sort of how much life you've lost and how much life you've gained. That's a bit of a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's not something you naturally track in a game, is how much life I've lost this turn, how much life I've gained this turn.
No.
So a bit of a weird one, but could be interesting, I guess.
You've got what else we got? You've got one of the legendary creatures is I don't even know. I swear someone photoshopped Gordon Ramsay's head onto it on Facebook, so we'll just call it Gordon Ramsay if you want. It's Geome, Master Chef.
Yeah.
I've been watching at the moment. Yeah, I love a bit of Master Chef. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got Trample, Troll Warlock. Costs 2 black green for a 5/3. At the beginning of your end step, create a number of food tokens equal to the number of non-token creatures you had enter the battlefield under your control this turn.
Yeah.
And you can pay 1, sacrifice a food, target creature gains indestructible until end of turn, and you tap it. So I don't really know. I remember food tokens in Eldraine, weren't they? And it was just
what do you do with them?
Yeah, what do you do with them? You had a deck with lots of food tokens, didn't you, Aaron? And
I tried.
You were like, I'm just going to do a food token for this. Like nothing.
There was nothing going on in that game. Yeah, I was just creating food tokens.
What did they even do? I can't remember.
You gained life, didn't you?
Gain 3 life, I think, don't you? When you sack them.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, I mean, with this, obviously, you're giving a target creature indestructible. Downside is you're tapping it. Could be good, could be bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'd be quite cool actually. This deck, if you're running this as the commander, but it's a shame it says create a number of food tokens equal to the number of non-token creatures you had enter the battlefield. If that was number of creatures you had enter the battlefield, that you'll be loving life.
Yeah,
with like Avengers of Zendikars and all those sort of stuff that bring in loads of creatures.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to see a lot of tokens generated with the cards in this deck, I'm guessing.
I think so, yeah.
Off the top of my head.
Especially that sort of pest and stuff theme. I think there's
Yeah.
bit of that in here as well.
Dirty pests in this deck.
Yeah. So what other cards do we have that sort of stand out? There's definitely a few good reprints in this deck. Well, we'll get onto those when we go onto the valuable cards, because there's definitely a few in this one. But there was one that we mentioned before we started the podcast. That's Yodora Gravegardener.
Yeah.
Legendary.
So she's legendary. So yeah, 5/5 for 5 mana, 1 green and 4 others. So it could only be a mono green commander. But this is great because it protects your board state in a weird way. So whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may return to the battlefield face down under its owner's control, and it's a forest land. So everything that dies just becomes ramp.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Pretty much.
It's very strange.
Is there any cards out there that if you control like 100 forests, you win the game or something stupid?
There is, but it's banned.
Is that Green Sun Zenith?
Oh yeah, equal to number of forests you control. Yeah, there's quite a lot of forest matters cards, that's for sure.
I think Green Sun Zenith is just like you just keep a tap in to add mana to your mana pool, don't you?
Is it a creature? It's not a creature.
You just go grab a creature from your deck and put it into play, don't you? I think, or something.
That's not what I'm thinking of. Is it Original Omnath I'm thinking of?
Oh, what? The Locus of Mana?
Oh yeah, no, it just gets bigger. It just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, you just dump any mana spare, dump it into him. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm thinking of. I thought there was one. It was like Omnath Locus for mana, but once you get like 100 mana in your mana pool, you win. But maybe
Helix Pinnacle.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, Helix Pinnacle.
Yeah, there. Yes, put X tower counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there's 100 tower counters on the Helix, you win the game.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's what I was
Stick
thinking
that
of.
with Yodora.
Well done, Aaron. Yeah. Cheers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolute useless knowledge. That knowledge would not help me in any other situation apart from this podcast.
It'd be a weird kind of commander to run, but I don't know. You'll see decks with it, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, it's like weird. It's like weird board protection almost. It's like sort of a deterrent, because if everyone kills all of your big green stompy creatures, they then just become lands to fuel your deck even more. So
yeah.
I was going to mention something else, but I can't remember what it was. Beacon of Creation is another good card that works with this, because obviously you get a 1/1 insect for each forest you control.
Yeah.
And then you shuffle Beacon of Creation back into your library.
Yeah. I think I've used that card before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely.
So that's quite cool. And that'll be going in my Blex deck when I make that.
Yep, why not?
They'll all be 2/2s instead. Brilliant. So yeah, that's a cool card. We got a cool land which you wanted to mention, Troy. I think was it Witch's Clinic?
Oh yeah, Witch's Clinic, is it? That's
yeah.
the one. Yeah, I think I might just put it in my Skullbriar deck, to be honest.
Nice.
Just because obviously taps are colourless, you pay 2 tap, and target commander gains lifelink until end of turn.
That's brilliant.
It's usable in there, you know. So yeah.
It's a great Voltron commander card, isn't it?
Yeah.
Giving you life back from your massive creature attacking someone.
Yeah. I mean, lifelink's the only thing I'm missing from the deck at the moment.
Yeah.
So now I have it.
Just stick it on the
needed.
land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quality.
Yeah.
There's another one I wanted to mention. Where is it gone?
There's a cool little creature here called Vainwich Coven.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I think it's a new card.
Looks it.
I've just lost it. What does it say?
It's 3 and a black for a 3/3 with menace. Whenever you gain life, you may pay black. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Can't complain, I guess.
No, it's pretty good. Yeah.
You're going to be
gaining creature.
Yeah, you're going to be gaining life in this deck, aren't you? I guess.
Plenty.
Yeah.
As well as losing, just make sure you keep track of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every interaction with life, keep track of it. The one I wanted to mention was Marshland Bloodcaster.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
I think-
I'll let you take this one, Aaron.
Cheers, mate.
Explain it.
Yeah.
Go on, explain this.
It's pretty good. It might go in my Villis deck because it's basically like a Bolas Citadel on a creature. So it's black and 4 for a Vampire Warlock, 3/5 with Flyer, 3/5 with Flyer with flying. And it says pay a black and 1, and then tap it, and then it says rather than pay the mana cost of the next spell you cast, you may pay life equal to that spell's mana value instead. So yeah, just brilliant for dropping huge demons, paying life away, then drawing that many cards with Villis out. I think could be quite good.
So why does it say mana cost, and mana value on the same card?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, this is a bit of a...
So I'll be honest. At first, I thought, oh, is this another misprint like they did with the Prismari commander?
Yeah.
And then it got me thinking, and I still don't know if I'm right, but we had a little discussion, didn't we? But whether it's right, I don't know. But don't know if you want to mention anything.
Yeah, how do you interpret the card, Tom? Do you think that one?
So I think it is just to do with how it is like. So the mana cost includes the colours in it, sort of thing. So the mana cost of this card is 4 and a black, whereas the mana value is just what its equivalent cost would be, which is just 5. So I think that's the key difference. Is one includes like the actual specifics of how you cast it, which is 4 and a black, and the other being mana value is just this costs a total of 5 mana.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference, because you can't pay.
That makes sense, because you ain't going to pay 4 and a black life, are you? Like
that's the difference. But yeah, I think there was a card we saw earlier as well. I think in the Prismari deck that again said mana cost and mana value on the card.
Yeah.
And it does just seem a little bit confusing, I think, at first.
I mean, yeah. Let's hope your interpretation, Tom, is right, because that makes it very simple. Whereas people interpret things all different ways, don't they?
Yeah. Definitely. I think it's quality, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to use that. You're basically just playing any spell from your hand for 2 mana.
Exactly, yeah.
And then in a Villis deck, you're just reaping the rewards from that if he's out, getting loads of cards off of it.
Yeah.
That's a lovely card, that is. I've got another really, really good one. Healing Technique. It's quality.
Healing Technique.
It's a sorcery.
3 and a green for a sorcery, Demonstrate. So when you cast this spell, you may copy it. If you do, choose an opponent to also copy it. Players may choose new targets for their copies. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. You gain life equal to that card's mana value. Then exile Healing Technique.
Yeah.
So 4 mana.
That's really good.
4
mana.
You get 2 cards back. Your opponents get 1 card back.
You gain some life, and then it goes away. So it's just great, like late game or early game. You can either get 1 card back, or you can get 2 cards back later on, at the expense of giving someone else a card back. So it's loads of utility.
Yeah.
And it's just another card that allows you to bring any card back from the graveyard, which I think is good.
Exactly. Because obviously with Demonstrate, you don't have to. It just says you may copy it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the only downside being you give someone else the chance to copy it. But I think there's been a bit of... I think there's a white card that does this with treasure tokens, isn't there, in one of the decks?
Yeah, I think we forgot to mention it, actually. I'm not actually... I think it might be in the Boros one.
Yeah, I think it is. We'll come to that, because obviously...
Lorehold, sorry.
I think people are looking at it too kind of narrowly.
Yeah.
That's even a word, but yeah. But we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's worth mentioning, because I think every deck has one of these Demonstrate cards.
Yes.
Which is a new mechanic for this commander set, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on, Troy.
Sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say it's a new mechanic, and I think, with these new mechanics, they need to either keep them going, or just make the cards, if they're not going to keep the mechanic going, like make them, these cards are pretty good, to be honest. But I think Josh just said to me, any new mechanics, they need to either keep going and keep people interested, or just make them, if they're one-offs, like really, really good cards. We've seen so many kind of mechanics just come and go, and then I can't remember most of the mechanics on a normal day. But it's kind of like, if you're going to do a new mechanic, let's keep it going. Let's make it interesting.
Yeah.
This Demonstrate is what I'm getting at. It's a good one. I like it.
I think it's good.
Please.
Yeah, I can't remember who said it in a different video, but it encourages teamwork rather than sort of only benefiting yourself. It's like, someone's really, really, really ahead. I'm going to choose to copy this. I'm also going to choose you as my ally to get something else back, so we can take that guy down.
Yep.
It's like it's encouraging teamwork to get rid of the player who is the arch enemy.
Yep.
Someone who is sort of getting ahead. You've got now a tool to combat that player.
Or it's kind of like, I'll do you this favor, you do me this favor later on type thing. The standard EDH politics.
Yeah. So,
but there's always going back on a deal, as we know.
I go back on the deal. Oh, that was such a bad thing to do.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Demonstrate. I like it.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah, they seem to have one of them sort of mechanics every set, don't they? For these command ones, there's like the Lieutenant one, the Vow cycle.
Lieutenant was cool. Yeah.
I think like the ones you said last time about the ones where you could cast stuff for free. Was that in the Commander Legends, the booster pack set, or was that in the real Commander set?
No, it was the Ikoria decks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you had like Fierce Guardianship. Yeah. Every colour had a free.
Yeah, free spell if you control
whatever. Yeah, and they were kind of tied, I guess, to the what you'd expect from that colour, wouldn't it? Like the blue had the free counter spell, the white had the indestructible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very cool cards.
Yeah, it's quite a cool mechanic. But there's a little bit more of it. We'll see that in a minute. Any more things out of this one?
I just want to say a quick 2-card combo.
Yeah.
There's probably millions of them because one of them is Sanguine Bond, and Sanguine Bond will combo with almost anything. But just Dina Soul Steeper. It's whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. So obviously, as soon as you gain any life, it then just ticks backwards and forwards, and everyone loses the game apart from you.
Yes.
But no doubt there's millions of them if there are in here.
Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1.
And
yeah. And then it says, whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. And then whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. So whenever you gain life, they lose life.
So a target opponent.
Does it or not? Maybe this isn't the one that goes infinite.
Are you thinking of? There's Exquisite Blood as well, isn't there?
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not in the deck. Maybe it goes infinite Exquisite Blood, but it's not in this deck. For some reason, I thought they were both in the deck together, but it's not.
No.
Oh, yeah, that'd be.
Well, they go infinite together, don't they?
Yeah,
exactly. They do. Value.
Right. Yeah, Exquisite Blood. Christ, that just goes infinite with anything.
Pretty much.
Which is why I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. That Dean of the Soul Steeper, I was going to say, I saw it's been getting a lot of attention online. I think it was good. But
there's a sack ability on there as well. Sacrifice another creature. She gets +X/+0, where X is sacrifice creature's power. So yeah, there's a bit of an engine tacked onto there, a sack outlet attached to that as well. Which a lot of commander decks care about. Us having a sack outlet and having one in your command zone is always good.
There's quite an expensive artifact in this deck called Alhammaret's Archive, or Amventor's actually as well.
Yeah,
quite pricey.
There's a couple of expensive cards in here.
So the archive is that you just gain double life. If you gain life, you'd gain 2 ice. If you draw a card, except the first one you draw each turn, you draw 2 cards instead. So gain twice as much life, draws twice as many cards.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolute wild source. I've got our Hammeret's Archive and Vencer's Journal in my Villas deck because they're just ridiculously good.
Nice, nice.
You gain 1 life for each card in your hand, which is normally about 50 cards in Villas.
Yeah.
So you'll gain 50 life each turn. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, some awesome cards in this deck.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to giving it a go.
Yeah, even straight out of the box, I think this one's going to be really good.
Yeah, I think my plan is to play them all straight out the box.
Yeah.
I like them. Might do a little upgrade, but yeah, like I said, these will just be sat about so that I definitely have a deck to play. Because like most people, my decks are always in pieces.
Yeah.
Or you're just missing like a card or something silly like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to have sort of, low power sort of pre-con style decks ready to play against other opponents that might not have a strong deck sort of thing, isn't it? So
perfect to give to a beginner as well. They've got the choice of 5 decks as well.
Yeah.
No names, Nick Morris. Give one a go.
Yeah.
Take your pick. What's your favourite colour? Then pick another colour. Oh, there you go.
There you go, sorted.
Even better, we'll get him to do the test online to see which school he'd be in.
Yeah.
And then we'll give him that deck.
Yeah, sounds good. Awesome. So yeah, move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Unless there's any high value cards we haven't mentioned already.
Not really. It's just Yodora, Blossoming Bog Beast. Whenever it attacks, you gain 2 life. Then creatures you control gain trample and +X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you've gained this turn, which is effectively, if in a life gain deck, create a hoof on like every turn.
Is it trample as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creatures
that's quite good.
Trample and get +X. Like,
yeah, that's very good.
Part of me thinks that $4 is even cheap for that. Like, I know it doesn't give them haste, which is the big thing that Create Hoof does do. You can just throw it down as part of like a 1-turn win. But I feel like if that sticks around, it's a big player.
Yeah, and it's good because there's already a buff on there because when it attacks, you gain life. Do you?
Yeah, I think when it attacks, you gain 2 life. So instantly, all of your creatures get +2/+2 and trample every turn.
Yeah, that's pretty
when
good.
It attacks.
Yeah.
Which is a small overrun.
So does it say creatures you control get +X where X number of life you've gained?
Yes.
So how would that work then if your creatures have lifelink? So they hit the creature and then they get +X, do you think?
No, because it only happens once. It's when this attacks. So this attacks, trigger goes on the stack. So no one's done any damage yet. They all get bigger. Then they deal all their damage. And then Blossoming Bog Beast doesn't really care about them anymore. Oh,
I see. Okay, that's a shame. But still pretty good.
There's Pest Infestation. Destroy up to X target artifacts and or enchantments. Create twice X 1/1 black and green pest creature tokens. With when this creature dies, you gain 1 life.
Ooh. Blex loves that.
Yeah, I think you're well away with this new deck already, Aaron.
Yeah.
And then, as you said before, it's the Hammeret's Archive and Vencer's Journal. So there's $100 worth in here, but 17% of that is these 2 cards.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah, I think the Witch's land thing I was looking at was about $3.
Oh, good. Yeah, it is. Yeah, sorry, I missed that one there. Yeah, but $4 on the Witch's Clinic.
But yeah,
it's like I said. You pay £30 in the UK for a deck like this.
Yeah, it's not bad.
30 to 40, isn't it? Usually standard.
Yeah, they've gone down in price recently. I don't know why that is. Obviously, they don't have the large, oversized commander card anymore.
Oh, do they not?
No.
No, but they come like a thick card instead. Instead of it being bigger, it's just thicker. So it's like a big token. Which I think is much better. Like you can.
Yeah. What do you do with these massive cards?
Yeah. Like
just play with them, I guess.
Yeah.
Sell the actual card and just play with a massive one.
Yeah. I'm going to put my Calamax deck together just for that reason.
Yeah.
Just to play them. big oversized commander card. So yeah, it's going to be a cool deck. I'm kind of wish I got that now because there's a lot of pieces in there that I would want to have for the Blex deck.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I didn't know this. I didn't have a clue what was going on. So let's have a look at the next one. The next one on the list is Lorehold Legacies.
Woohoo!
So yeah, this is the red and white deck. And the theme behind this one is a pre-constructed deck with a graveyard theme, but it cares about artifacts and artifacts recursion. So yeah, we don't really have a lot of recursion in sort of Boros colors or Lorehold colors. Well, we do now because of Lorehold, but we never really had a lot of recursion themes in red and white. So it's good to have a lot more in this deck, and it cares about sort of bringing the artifacts to and from constantly. So the face commander is Osgir the Reconstructor. So again, another low CMC commander or mana value commander. This one being 4. So I think that's all of them have been 4 and 3 so far.
Yeah.
Legendary creature, Giant Artificer. So 4/4 with Vigilance. So 4/4 mana for Vigilance. Pay 1 and sack an artifact. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 until the end of turn. So straight away there, you've got a way of pumping your creature's power and sacrificing artifacts to the graveyard. And obviously you want artifacts in your graveyard for the second ability, which says pay X and tap and exile an artifact with mana value X from your graveyard. Create 2 tokens that are copies of the exiled card. Activate it only as a sorcery. So anything you sack with Osgir can then ultimately be brought back as 2 versions of itself, which is just absolutely ridiculous if you do this to swords or the sword cycle. Oh, I'm going to have 2 Sword of Feast and Famines now, please. Brilliant. So all those swords in there were going to be ridiculous to do this to. So I think it looked quality just on that very purpose, that very basis.
Yeah, there's... I don't know. There must be some weird busted things you can do with it as well.
That's got to be, yeah.
100%, yeah.
Some mad sort of combos or something, but it looks like fun.
Definitely, there's some really, really good new cards in this deck as well. But I think that's I think that is the best commander to use in this deck. There's another one. I think there's another one in there as well. Alibu, Ancient Witness.
Yeah.
So has anybody got that up? Do you want to read that out instead?
So that's 3 red, white for a 4/5. Other artifact creatures you control have haste. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, Alibu deals X damage to any target and you scry X, where X is the number of tapped artifacts you control. So notably there, as long as one artifact attacks, you can scry X and deal X, where X is any number of tapped stuff. So if you've got like 100 mana rocks, sort of thing, like you can
tapped artifacts.
You can attack. It doesn't even have to hit. Doesn't even have to connect. You can just throw like a 1/1 mirror in, let that die, and just then have a huge scry and like X damage to something. Oh, we missed a message from Jason. Hi, Jason. He just says, "Hey, what's going on?" Just running through the commander decks, Jason, and having some fun.
Thanks for joining us. So we're going through the Lorehold deck at the moment, and yeah, Alibu. So yeah, I didn't realise that it. I thought it was tapped artifact creatures because I just read the top bit. But it's any artifact you have, anything.
Yeah, X is the.
You're always going to have a few, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I think you. I don't know. Can you build this as like a weird one-shot commander to just get like 20 tappable artifacts on the field?
Yeah.
Tribal artifacts, yeah. Definitely.
Andrew said he's got it just in time for the good white ramp cards.
Oh, yes. There's a few in this one, isn't there?
Helping you again through the shift, I'm assuming, Andrew, because you came here last week as well, and the week before, I think. You helping him through his shift at work.
Nice.
So I'm glad we can help do that again. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely untapped, no pun intended, potential with this. With well, it needs to be tapped in this person's case. But but yeah, artifact lands. There's artifact lands you can tap, which will then contribute to Alibu. You got
Ancient
all sorts.
Den.
Yeah, all the ancient dens and great furnaces.
Is Darksteel Citadel an artifact?
Yep, comes in the deck as well, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at the deck list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just madness.
A few for and Great Furnace. Is that the white one? I'm guessing.
Great. Yeah. The red one, I think.
Make sure you tap them down then.
No, exactly. So Alibu could be good in this deck, of course, and maybe running his own sort of deck, doing all sorts of different things. It's interesting. And then, as Andrew said there in the chat, came here for the good white ramp cards. Let's go through the white ramp cards then. So one of them is Archaeomancer's Map.
Yeah, looks good.
So yeah, this is just. I think it's going to be in all white decks now, isn't it?
There's so much text on these cards. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Very relevant text for what we need though in white.
Exactly. Look at this.
Who wants to read this one?
I'll do it if you want.
Go on, Troy.
Gives me something to do. Look. Right. So you pay 2 and a white for an artifact, Archaeomancer's Map. So when Archaeomancer's Map enters the battlefield, search your library for up to 2 basic planes cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player controls more lands than you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield.
Oh, there we go. More balancing in white.
Exactly.
So yeah, just brilliant. I mean,
it's your typical white situation, isn't it? If somebody has more lands than you, you can have a land.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And this is what I've been saying for ages, is what white needs to do is just get to the level of everybody else, because they always seem to be behind for whatever reason. So if you can balance that out by, in this case, ramping when everybody else is ahead of you, that's what white should be doing to sort of catch up to everybody. It looks like they're finally printing cards that do it. And there was another one in the Silver Quill as well, wasn't there? The Scholar or something, which did the same sort of thing, but did it for everybody.
Sponsorship Scholar.
That's the one, yeah. So it's just good to see that they are sort of doing this in white. Yeah,
they tend to reward white players if they're behind, but if you're like level pegged or ahead for once, you ain't getting nothing.
Exactly.
Sit there and deal with it. Get used to being like a real player.
Yeah. That's what I mean though. It's just like white and red is always, you always find yourself behind because you can't do the same stuff. You can't ramp, you can't draw cards as effectively. So
it's a weird one, but it is like hard when you're playing those decks, you know.
So we do need these little toys. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah. And there's that other one that's ridiculous, isn't there?
What, the demonstrate one?
No, the other ramp card. Is it in this deck?
The monologue tax.
Monologue tax.
Oh, there he is.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
2 and a white for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, you create a treasure token. So,
So I'm guessing there's probably ways. Oh, I don't know. What do we think?
Obviously, it's held back a bit that it's only their second spell.
Yeah.
Like, it can only happen once. Like, part of me wishes this was, like, for every other spell someone casts.
Yeah.
So if someone casts 4 spells in a turn, you'd get 2 treasure. 6, you get 3, obviously, sort of thing. I wish there was something like that.
I guess it's, it's holding your opponents back, as white is good at. Like my Oketra deck I've just built, this will eventually probably end up in there. I guess if you pair it with the other thing, Smothering Tithe,
the other thing,
the other thing, throwing up the coins, you're just laughing, aren't you? So I guess it's more of a deterrent for people to play a second spell.
Yeah.
Than play a second spell, maybe deal you a bit of, a bit of pain or whatever, or I guess it's better to stop someone playing a second spell than to have them just play it, regardless of whether you get a treasure token.
Yeah, it's just something else that sort of just something else that gets in the way of them making that decision. Is, do I want to ramp that person?
Yes,
exactly.
If you maybe had one spare mana and you thought, I can just cast Opt this turn for the sake of it, you might think, oh no, I won't do that. I don't want to give you the treasure just so I can Opt.
Yeah.
So it just does hold them back a little bit.
I think it has its place in. Oh crikey, is it $20 currently?
That's what it says.
Wow.
$20. So's Archaeomancer's map. They're both 20.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's the price of the deck right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, we'll jump ahead to the budget section here. This one's already 130. It's the most expensive one, but it is literally like 4 cards. There's the map, Monologue Tax, Hellkite Tyrant's 15.
There's something else, isn't there? Is there a red spam? A red.
I could have sworn there was another one I saw a minute ago.
There was something the other day.
Yeah, I thought there was something else. 8. There's Cursed Mirror, which is 7. Oh, and 1,000-year Elixir, which is 8.
God. Oh, that's it. 1,000-year Elixir. I think they had it a bit higher.
Yeah, I think that's dropped quite quickly over the past few days. Now it's got a little reprint.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got this one. It just looks awesome.
It just looks like a good deck, regardless of what cards prices are.
Yeah.
Jeez. Law and Foil, £75 or dollars.
That's pretty good.
The problem is that it sort of skews the other cards, like because it will end up sort of being like a the way the decks work out. They always have to like balance out. So if one card's worth loads of money, all it means is all the other ones become worth less. So like if these cards weren't in there, it might just be that a couple more of these cards would just be worth like $2, $3 sort of thing. But they don't really need to be, because if you've bought this deck, you just go and sell those 2 cards. You've made your money back. Therefore, the rest of the cards are effectively profit and worthless sort of thing.
Useless, yeah.
It's just the way stupid MTG Finance is. Oh god, we've missed loads. Andrew said, play Cursing Echoes with the new Tithe, which he means Monologue Tax. Could be interesting, which forces everyone to cast cards. What does Curse of Echoes do? Can you remember?
I have no idea. I've never heard of it before.
I know it's a black card. I can't remember what it does. Oh no, it's a blue card, sorry even. Whenever I'm trying to play a cast, an instant or sorcery, each other player may copy that spell and may choose new targets for the copy they control. And it's only target player. Wow. What?
Why have we never heard of that before?
And it's a cheap card. You need this. It's like Hive Mind, isn't it?
That's ridiculous.
Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, each other player copies that spell. But Hive Mind just affects everyone. And Curse of Echoes literally just bullies one player. It's the perfect card.
Sounds like a good 2-headed giant card, Tom.
Yeah. So if I just click on buy on Card Market and just fill that basket up. Basket. That will be happening later, guys. Don't you worry about it.
That's brilliant.
And yeah, Jason said apparently Hellkite Tyrant was $50 a few weeks ago, so it was worth even more. But
that's insane.
This one here, this is the one we're looking at.
Yes.
But again, I don't think Wizards didn't know about this, because I think it was the Dragon and the Elixir only spiked up like within like the last sort of month. Like it would have been well after these decks had been finalized. These prices would have skyrocketed. So I think it's just sort of just luck, really, that these two have managed to get a reprint here.
Yeah.
It is what it is, isn't it?
I remember buying Hellkite Tyrant as well when it was more expensive for the Ataka Dragon deck. Well, I haven't played in ages, but it's now like half the price because it's been reprinted in here, which is just bad timing. But that's just what happens, isn't it?
Was that in the
Yeah.
Dragons Precon? I think it was.
What, Hellkite Tyrant?
Yeah, Commander 16. So yes, I have one of those.
Oh, damn it.
It's just one of those things, though. It's like I bought a couple of expensive cards, and then instantly, about a month later, they got reprints. Like,
Yeah.
I bought Exquisite Blood, and then that got reprinted in, was it Commander Legends?
No, right, yeah.
Jumpstart, I think.
Jumpstart, and I was like, oh, really? So it was cheaper
Yeah.
for a while, but I think that's crept up again.
Just like stocks and shares, isn't it, really?
Well, it is. Like, that's why I just try to get cards as cheap as possible.
That's mental.
But it is what happens.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining that they're in there.
No, exactly. Speaking of still Andrew Donnelly's ramp category, there is a card in here which could be used as ramp, which is just really strange, and it's one of the demonstrate cards again, and that's Excavation Technique.
Oh, yeah. Right. This is the one that I was on about earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, so do you want to read it out then?
So it's a sorcery for white and 3 others. Demonstrate. You destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens.
Yep.
So obviously you can destroy something your opponent controls, I guess, and give them treasure tokens for whatever reason that may be.
Yep.
I'm guessing you can choose to target yourself because this deck obviously relies on graveyard stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get the treasure tokens. So I think people were missing that point and just going, oh, I'm going to target you, Aaron, but that means I'm going to have to target you again, and then my opponent has to target you. And it's like, oh, no. It says you can choose...
yeah, you can
choose an opponent. Yeah, you
target on our permanent.
Yeah.
So you can target your own stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you can just target yourself. That's what I'm getting at, sorry.
Yeah.
Got a bit lost there. And you're reaping in the treasure tokens, and then you're just bringing it back, aren't you, in this deck?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Like if you cast this on your Soul Ring, for instance, you destroy your Soul Ring, you get 2 treasures out of it, and then you can just bring the Soul Ring back as a copy of it, as a copy with Osgear, and you get 2 Soul Rings.
Exactly.
So it's pretty ridiculous, and it can act as, that sort of explosive vegetation style card in a white deck. You can destroy your own thing, your own worthless token, whatever token you've got out, like an investigate token or whatever. You can destroy that and get 2 treasure tokens instead for 4 mana. So it's basically like an explosive vegetation in white, it's a ramp in white in the form of treasure tokens, which is nice. It's
a strange one. Or you can just go about it, if there's something really annoying on the battlefield.
Yeah, exactly.
Get rid of something your opponent controls. They get a couple of treasures, but sometimes it's like, it's like Beast Within. It's worth it, isn't it? You can have a 3/3 Beast, but that thing's gone.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it can work in 2 of your slots in your deck. You can run this as the removal category, but you can also use it as a ramp card.
Yeah.
So
situational, you get the option, don't you? There.
Yeah.
Just play smart.
Definitely. So it's a really, really good card. Another piece of ramp is, I think there was another one in here somewhere. It was the mirror, I think, Cursed Mirror, which is just brilliant.
Yeah.
I think one of the more expensive cards in the list, is it?
Yes. Yeah, it's 665.
No, not bad. Do you want to read this one out, Tom?
Yeah, so it's 2 and a red for an artifact that you can tap to add red. As Cursed Mirror enters the battlefield, you may have it become a copy of any creature on the battlefield until end of turn, except it has haste.
That's mental. So good. Like late or early, it's just brilliant. You can copy any creature.
And that's any creature, including opponents, right?
Yeah.
No restriction there. Well, hexproof.
Oh yeah, of course.
And you get it to end of turn.
Yeah.
That's long enough. And it's
still Colossus.
Yeah. Possibly.
It betrays.
Yeah.
Just horrible cards out there that you can copy and give it haste. The mirror is broken, Jason says.
7 years bad with Jason.
The mirror is broken. It would be if I looked into it, that's for sure.
Oh.
Hey. Love a bit of self-burn. have to bring yourself down sometimes.
It's just worth. I mean, it's like you pay 3, you basically getting like it's like a fire diamond or whatever, isn't it? You pay the 2. Yeah, it can tap for red. It comes in tapped kind of thing, or 3 mana rock.
Yeah.
But you're getting that added thing. It's so worth playing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's definitely a brilliant ramp spell in red. It is, red.
You just put that in any deck that had red in, surely.
Yeah, definitely. Just because it's great late game and good early game.
Exactly. I can't see any drawbacks, really.
You can use this, obviously, to copy other people's commanders, other people's legendary creatures. So you could potentially use this on someone else's Azusa and then drop 2 lands in a red deck because you've copied the Azusa. You can use this to copy Avenger of Zendikar, which enters with loads of plant tokens, because it says as it enters the battlefield, so you can choose it before it effectively comes into play. So you still get the ETB effects of other creatures as well.
Oh, that's clever.
That is playing smart.
Yeah, so the token obviously will die. The Avenger of Zendikar per se will go away at the end of the turn, but all the plants will remain, and they will still. They won't grow because Avenger's not there, but still you've got an army of tokens.
Yeah.
So that's always good to note as well.
But we all know we'd play it and there'd be nothing to copy.
Yeah. Sounds about right. So it's definitely worth a mention, that one. What else do we have?
So I think I've seen quite a few people talking about this. Laelia, the Blade Reforged.
Yes, definitely.
So 2 and a red for haste 2/2 Spirit Warrior. When it attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Whenever you exile 1 or more cards from your library and or graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Laelia. So just keep sort of playing stuff off the top.
Yeah, it works with all these sort of, Valakut's Awakening and all that. Not Awakening. The bloody one from Valakut Exploration and other sort of cards that care about exile in the top and impulsive stuff she works with. But I don't know if it would be a great commander deck because it's mono red. Is there a lot of mono red? I guess there is, isn't there? Impulsive exile stuff. But yeah, very, very unique commander or unique creature.
Someone will come up with something crazy for it.
Of course they will, yeah. The other mono commander in the deck is Lost Shield Clockwork Scholar, which is an Elephant Artificer, which is quite good. So 2 and a white, and it's a 2/4. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All artifact creatures protected from combat damage when they attack. And then it's got a nice little engine on there as well. Whenever 1 or more artifact creatures enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability only triggers once each turn, but still, that's a nice little engine to have on a white card.
Very good if you've got stuff that, I don't know how much there is, but just like tap, put an artifact creature in, like a token into play, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just if you've got like a few of them that you can do on every person's turn, so you're drawing a card every person's turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's got
attacking artifact creatures. You can't just sit and block and defend with artifact creatures. Swing them in wildly.
Nice.
Just not caring.
That's quite cool. And another one I wanted to mention was Wake the Past, which is pretty good. It's only for yourself as well. So red, white, and 5 for a sorcery. Return all artifact cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. They gain haste.
Nice.
Which is
that's good.
Pretty mad. So all of your big artifact creatures can attack. All of your sort of equipments and swords and stuff come back. Anything that's been sacked off with Osgear can come back as long as you haven't exiled it. So yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good big spell in the deck. So yeah, I just think all the cards in this deck are good. I don't want to spend too long on it. But I just think they're all really good in this deck.
Just get and play it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Jason said,
Definitely.
Finally white is getting some ramp and card draw. And it is worth remembering, it wasn't that long ago, everyone used to say green was rubbish. And Watsy said, we're going to deliberately make green better. And now look at it. Like, green is literally unstoppable now.
Green's the best.
So like,
Always has
white's
been.
clearly going to have their turn next, and everyone will soon complain that black's the weakest, and then that will get its push, and it's just gonna until they're all too good.
Did they actually say green was bad? Did they?
Yeah, I remember when I first, like, a long time, I guess when I first started playing to it, it is a long time ago now, like 10 years
Yeah.
ago. I remember being like a big joke that green was like unplayable because it was just like big dumb creatures,
Yeah.
and they just didn't do enough like extra things. That like green didn't used to have like the powerful card draw and stuff.
Yeah. That's interesting. Green used to be bad.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
times have changed, eh?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure that's what people used to say all the time,
Yeah.
moaning.
Yeah.
And I said, "What's
No.
wrong? They attack."
No, that's true. I do remember green when I used to play ages ago. Green just used to be all about big creatures. Though I don't remember any green cards back then that used to draw cards.
Yeah.
That's all.
No.
No,
but they
definitely.
had harmonize or whatever it is. The green one.
Yeah.
Yeah, harmonise.
Oh yeah, good argument, my friend.
That was it.
All right,
Yeah.
Kermit, piss off.
So yeah, might as well mention the other good card as well that's going to be used for mono white. Secret Rendezvous.
Mhm.
So this is just white, and 1. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards.
Oh, that's the one. Sorry. How could we forget that?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can't believe I nearly forgot that. I love it. I'm glad to see it's only 25 cents. I will be buying another 1,000 copies to go along with my whatever. I've already forgotten what the card was. That's my biggest problem. I say
That
this
blue
every-
one.
Curse
I
of
mean, that
Echoes.
black one, Tom.
Yeah.
Curse of Echoes.
What? How is a curse not black? Huh?
Yeah.
Curse of
It's the red
Opulence.
curse.
Yeah. Jason said black and blue used to be the most powerful back in the day.
Ah. Yeah. That makes sense. Very, very interactive colours, black and blue.
That's all right.
Does all right. Anything else worth mentioning? Everything's worth mentioning in this deck. Ruin Grinder is quite a cool one. So it's a big, massive construct. 7/4 creature with menace. Costs 6 mana, red and 5. And when it dies, each player may discard their hand and draw 7 cards, which is quite good. Just gives you a massive refresh if it dies.
Yeah.
And then it's got mountain cycling on it as well. So another good way of pitching an artifact to the graveyard is mountain cycling it and chucking it in the grave, going to get a mountain into your hand for your land drop, which is good. Ruin Grinder.
Mhm.
So I'd probably spend all night talking about all of these cards, but we have to move on to the next one now. I think
Is this the one you've pre-ordered, Aaron?
this is the Lawhold one's one I've pre-ordered. Yeah, it's a singular deck that I've done. Also, another great card in this, which will be going in my auras and enchantments deck, is Dark Steel Mutation, which just fucks over someone's commander.
So
1 and a white enchant creature. Enchant creature is an insect with base power 0/1 and has indestructible, and it loses all other abilities and creature types.
Is this a reprint?
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that before. Yeah.
It's on Mirrodin or Dark Steel, I think.
Yeah.
I
Looking
think
at
it's
the
one of
art.
the new ones.
Maybe
Isn't it? I thought it was on the Return to.
Or maybe Scars of Mirrodin, something like
No,
that.
it's not. It's Commander. It's a Commander set. Is this
Is
right?
it?
Oh,
What?
Not this one. Surely not.
Mystery Booster as well.
Ah. Okay.
2013. But yeah,
Maybe
I think it was
then. Maybe it is
originally.
a Commander card. From
No, it was
C30.
originally in. Was it originally in? Or maybe it wasn't then.
It does
Maybe it
feel like
was.
a Commander card, and it's not legal in Modern, which makes me think
Yeah,
it's not been in
Oh,
a standard
Yeah.
style set.
well,
I mean,
I
that
thought
is-
it was. Yeah, I thought it was Mirrodin or something. Maybe
That's
not.
shockingly bad to be played against you, I guess.
Oh, it is, yeah. So because you then can't destroy your own commander to
Mhm.
get it back to commander form because it's indestructible.
You'd
so
have to
Just sack it. Just play
You have
mono
to sack
black and
it.
sack it.
sack it. Yeah.
Just sack it, yeah, or exile it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, in an enchantments deck, it's brilliant removal. So yeah, the final deck that's
Quandricks, right? Or whatever.
Quandricks.
Quantum Quandricks, is that
Yeah,
right?
No, yeah,
That's the one,
2013. That's where it
That's
started.
the one.
2013 is when it started, was it?
The first Darkstone mutation.
Nice.
Quandricks.
So yes, Quantum Quandricks is the green and blue one, and this is a deck that cares about tokens and +1/+1 counters. So not really much anything new that we've seen from Simic before. But they're probably the most powerful and broken commander features in this set.
Oh god.
It's not the face either. It's not the face commander either. It's the secondary one.
Where is it?
It's the face commanders, isn't it? There's 2 of them.
There's two commanders. Oh yeah. I guess that's right. Yeah.
You heard about Ruxa Patient Professor?
That would have been my guess. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Guilty.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's just funny. It's just funny.
Yeah, it'll be a funny deck to build, but that's not the one. That's not the one that's ridiculous. But the face of the set, the face of the box is Adrix and Nev, twin casters.
Yep.
So who wants to read this one out?
Go on, then I'll do it. 2 green and a blue for a Merfolk Wizard. It's 2/2 with Ward 2. If 1 or more tokens you would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead.
Oh boy.
Hello. Doubling season.
Hello.
Yeah.
Not quite doubling season. What's the one that is like Parallel Lives?
Oh,
That's the
Parallel
one.
Lives, yeah.
Yeah, parallel lives in the command zone, basically. That's pretty good. And again, another mechanic that's not really represented in the main set is this ward mechanic as well. Which is basically just like a hexproofy sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the option to ignore, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a hexproof tax sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, so yeah.
It can't
adds
be
the
targeted
extra.
unless you pay the extra. Which I think is a good way of getting around it. It's not unbearably annoying as just straight hexproof.
Yeah. But it's good as well because you can, if you have like hexproof and, in this case, ward on your commander, you can cut down on the amount of protection cards that you run in your deck because your commander already has a sense of it on there.
Yeah.
Which is always quite good to consider as well. But yeah, just doubling up every single creature token is pretty mad. All those creatures that enter with extra tokens are just doubled, so you're getting double the amount of value. And yeah, it's whenever any more tokens. Yeah, so it's not even creatures; it's other tokens as well, isn't it? So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Any tokens, not just creatures. So that's pretty good.
Off to a good start, I guess, with that.
Oh, definitely, yeah. There's going to be loads of stuff that you can do with that. Just doubling up the value of creatures and tokens and stuff. But the one that's broken is the Essex one, Fractal Bloom.
Yeah.
So read that one out, Troy.
Essex Fractal Bloom. It's green and blue and 4 mana for a legendary creature. It's a fractal. It's got flying. It's 4/4. The first time you would create 1 or more tokens during each of your turns, you may instead choose a creature other than Essex Fractal Bloom and create that many tokens that are copies of that creature.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
So you can just choose to make copies of any creature apart from Essex that you control. No.
So any
creature, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah, any tokens. Yeah, any tokens. So it's pretty ridiculous. What is going on in the comments right now?
Easy Poops, what are you up to? Yes, we went to Level Up Gaming. I don't know. Do we remember you saying poo poo bum bum when we saw you? I don't know. I don't remember that.
I was just going to say I wasn't there that day, but who hasn't been to Level Up Gaming?
You have been called out, Troy, though, by name.
Oh, God.
So there's beef. There's beef between you and the Poops.
Why?
He then he says, shish, shush, ban me, ethic, constrol. Anyone know what this word means? Is this a word? Aid? Is that...
I think that's a new commander.
Is that...
That's some hex spell on you, Tom.
I hope that's not some sort of a racist slur you've just made me say live on.
Can you imagine?
He's gone then D.
Yeah.
AD. I don't know if that's like a
Dad.
dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi, Dad.
Dad in half. I don't know.
No.
Now Lou wants to poop.
Oh, shit is hitting the fan.
Lou wants to poop out money for Strix cards.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Are they saying that
But
this
he's
deck
broke.
is too?
So I don't understand how that means. Lou, if you can poop money for cards, you're not broke. Like, it's not like you can pay to have this as a feature on your body. Well, maybe there is a feature. Like having a large bank balance isn't going to allow your poop to be worth money, I'm afraid. That's probably a lie, because I bet there's some weirdos out there that pay for celebrities' poo. But that's a different story. But in amongst all of this madness, we did actually get quite a nice comment from Jason, our true friend on the cast now. He said Dublin season is $70, Parallel Lives is $50. This commander is going to be worth that much money when you're talking about Adrix and Nev. And I do believe that.
Yeah. I'll say that I'm very happy to see that comment, as I own both of those cards.
Mm.
I don't own either of them, I don't think.
That is ridiculous. I didn't pay anywhere close to any of those prices. But that's what happens, isn't it? But yeah.
You're going to see all those token doublers go up in price now because of this, I think.
That's it, isn't it? Dublin season shot up in price not long ago because of something. I can't remember what happened. Was it this? I don't think it was this. It was something else. And Dublin season, I was using it in a deck, went on the MTG Goldfish overnight, it went up double.
Jeez. Wow,
and I was like, wow, something happened with doubling up. I don't think it was anything to do with this. But yeah. It's what happens.
Yeah, it is. And Lou said, "Oh, I love price spikes."
He also referred to one of us as Jesus. I'm assuming Aaron because of the hair.
Or is he saying, Jesus, I love price spikes?
Oh,
maybe he's seen the prices. I don't know.
Or maybe he was just saying, "Also Jesus." Who knows?
Also, Jesus loves price spikes. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh. Wild tangents aplenty. That easy poop's really just thrown us off there, didn't it?
Love an easy poop.
No, he's not getting banned.
I just realised that his last comment was ad. I think his dad's just told him to get off the computer.
Maybe, yeah. Probably what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for popping into the chat, but we'll see you next time.
Welcome back to Easy Poops.
Jason said they are just great commander cards. Yeah, 100%. So Essex is going to see some. Oh, was it Essex or Essex?
Essex. Yeah.
The only way is Essex.
Exactly that.
That's going to see some ludicrous interactions out in the wild. So yeah. Again, another one that pops up is Avengers Zendikar. You choose your tokens to enter as copies of Avengers Zendikar. They enter with loads of other tokens. Unfortunately, they don't. The tokens that Avenger brings with it don't become additional Avengers because it's only the first time you do something. Yeah. But still, that is a ridiculous army from one card.
I saw. Didn't I see in this deck? There's a Hornet Queen as well.
Oh, Hornet Queen.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
That's 4.
And that creates those little Death Touch insects, don't they?
Queen. Yeah.
Get flying as well, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. That's a Blex card.
Yes.
2/2 Death Touch flyers, brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this is a fantastic deck. What else do we have which stands out? Probably all of it again, I expect. But anything else in there, Troy, that immediately stands out?
Dika, Fractal Theorist.
Oh yeah, Dika's one of the legendaries, and
so that's the one I was on about before. Whenever you cast instant or sorcery, create a fractal, and 0/0 put +1/+1 counter on it. So again, this ties in really well with S6 sort of thing, doesn't it, or not? Because you make the token and then you still put the +1/+1 counters on it, I think. So instead of it just being a 0/0, you could make a copy of your really good thing, and then it just gets bigger anyway.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it's just you may instead create tokens that copy that creature. Yeah, so it's permanent, isn't it? So it permanently becomes a copy of that creature.
Yeah.
So the token that you just made not only gets buffed, but it becomes a copy of a better creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's good.
And also can have target token creature can't be blocked until end of turn if you pay 4 mana.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
A little bonus.
Rogue's Passage on a token for tokens.
That is good.
You got the Spawning Kraken for you, Aaron.
Oh, of course, yeah. Spawning Kraken.
Get that.
Whenever a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent you control deals combat damage to a player, create a 9/9 blue Kraken.
Ooh,
yes. All right, isn't it?
Yeah. What's that? What's the price of that one? Probably jank. 149.
149 in, yeah.
Ah, love it. That's all I need.
Too much for my buyouts, I'm afraid.
So there's a creature troll wizard here called Guardian Augmenter, and you were just saying, oh yeah, ward's all right because it's not actual hexproof, but it gives commanders you control hexproof.
Where's this
one?
Oh
yeah, that's a good one.
Is it in the deck?
It's in the deck. Guardian Augmenter.
It's a new card as well.
It costs 2 and a green. It's 3 mana. Creature, sorry, yeah.
Why can't I see that? Can anyone else see that on this list?
Under Champion of Wits, near Hornet Nest. Up
There
a
we
bit.
are. Thank you very much.
So it buffs your commander in a couple of ways.
Yeah, 8.
It's got flash as well, actually.
Yeah, so it's good. It's like it fills a lot of things. It's protection for the commander. You can basically cast it at instant speed, so you can fizzle someone else's spell, and it makes it's a combat trick because you can play it at instant speed, so you can give your commander +2/+2 at instant speed. And yeah, it's a creature, so
gives it hexproof as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty good.
So yeah, Ruxer obviously Patient Professor.
Oh, it's gonna be a funny deck.
So I saw this card and was just laughing on the way to go and play tennis the other day. And I got there, showed Josh the card. We had a good laugh. Gigantosaurus was the first word out of his mouth. I was like, oh yeah. And then we saw the deck list at the end of our little game of tennis we were playing. Yeah. And this was it. And then I just had another little laugh. It's just funny.
It's just gonna be a fun deck, yeah.
Just make a deck with creatures that do nothing, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Random vanilla creatures that do nothing.
I guarantee there's ones that you don't even know about that now are just going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, they all become unblockable, basically. Or they all become just direct damage. So it doesn't matter what they are going through. Their combat damage is going through. Which is just it's just brilliant.
Do keywords count as abilities?
Yeah.
Oh, shame. They're completely vanilla, literally nothing on them.
Yeah,
nothing on them at all. Okay. But then
so most tokens. This is really what wants to be a good token deck. Just give all your tokens, like just direct damage, basically.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's like a weird green aggro sort of strategy.
Yeah.
Using tokens.
I guess that's why it's in this deck, maybe then.
But it's done in a funny way by making a bear.
It's a bear as well.
It's a bear.
And is it wearing? Has it got a pair of glasses on? I can't see.
Is he wearing underpants?
I swear it looks like he's got a pair of glasses on.
Zooming in.
I'm pretty sure what's that if that ain't a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's a bear with bad eyesight. And he's got his Nan's 90 on. Bless.
There we are.
Yeah, I'll look at him.
Look at that.
Or her. I don't know. Could be either.
Brilliant.
Yes, I'm not familiar with the I was going to say genealogy. Sexuality of a bear?
Genealogy.
I've only been into one of those bars once. I took a wrong turn.
Nice.
We've had a few messages. Andrew has filled a whole plane with polyraptors, so be glad Avenger doesn't go infinite. Hornet Queen is so much fun, says Jason. Again, Hornet Queen was the name of the bar I got lost in. Is it possible to have too many token doublers? You can add one more if you go into white with what's that
Procession.
one called? Procession. Thank you.
Anointed Procession, yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew said morphs would also work until they flip. So that's a fun game you could play.
Ah, yeah.
So does that mean if you flip them after blockers have been assigned, they can't? No, that's not how that works. Sorry. I was thinking about them being unblockable, but it's not actually unblockable.
Oh, yeah.
And Jason has said, of course, the 9/9 dinosaur from Ixalan.
Referencing the 9/9 Kraken. I think.
No. It's just a vanilla, isn't it? Just a huge.
Oh, is it?
Gigantosaurus. Isn't it? If it's Gigantosaurus, is it 10/10 for 5 green? I think it's a 10/10, isn't it?
I think Gigantosaurus was a standard print, though, wasn't
Gigantosaurus
it?
was 10/10. So what's in Ixalan
then? Pass.
Is it AIXL? No. I don't know what the
IXA. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the abbreviation is.
Come on.
Which Ixalan was it, though? Rivals or
Oh God.
Rivals or
I'll have to
Ixalan?
search both now. Rix or Ixalan. XLN, of course.
Oh, Ancient Brontodon, maybe? Is a 8 cost. It's a 9/9. No ability.
Yes. Yep.
There you go. That's what it is.
There we are.
There we go.
So
Yeah,
there we are.
common
That's
from
the common.
Ixalan.
Thank you. We all got there in the end.
Any creatures like that I'll bypass most of the time. Apart from I use Gigantosaurus because obviously it's 5 green, so you get like the devotion a lot in green, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And also 5 mana is very cheap.
It's crazy, isn't it?
For a huge creature like this, you're paying 8 mana. You are paying a lot of mana for something.
Yeah. But now it's all wow. Chuck it in, why not?
Yeah, this deck it's 9 damage they can do nothing about. So it's well, no, 10 damage because it gets +1/+1.
Of course it does, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty good.
So yeah, Desolation Twin gives you the token that's a 10/10.
Yeah, you're paying 10 for basically two of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a token of itself, yeah.
Yeah. Annoyingly, this one wouldn't be sort of the unblockable direct damage sort of thing, but the token is.
Token one it would be, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds cool. So yeah, you could make a funny deck with the bear as the commander.
There was a lot of talk about the bear tribal decks people make because obviously a lot of the bear cards in Magic are just no abilities, vanilla. Yeah. So obviously you can just go bear tribal to the max now.
Yeah, you can.
But yeah,
absolute bear force one.
That's it. Yeah, almost made one once.
Yeah, but that'd be good.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I like, these extra little commanders and extra little creatures and stuff that appear in decks just to be fun decks rather than sort of overly competitive. Yeah. It's always good to see those in there.
There is a funny card that I don't think it's in these decks. I think I might have forgot to talk about it earlier. You know that artifact? It's like a football game where like you get counters, you lose counters type thing.
In the Strixhaven set.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Quidditch equivalent, isn't it?
Yeah. On the subject of I think it's a bit of it's quite a funny janky card.
Yeah, something stadium or something like that, isn't it?
Strixhaven Stadium.
It might be. Swear on stadium in it.
I think that's right. Strixhaven Stadium.
Yeah.
So you tap it to add colourless and put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, remove a point counter from Strixhaven Stadium. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, put a point counter on the stadium. And then if it has 10 or more point counters on it, remove them all and that player loses the game. So you have to, if you can get 10 creatures unblockable and attack someone, they lose.
The bears. Get the bears. Get the bears. Yeah.
It's on theme there.
Yeah.
Bears don't back down.
It's just
come on, Team Bear.
We're the Chicago Cubs.
We're the Boston Bears. Oh dear. It's like a ridiculous piss take dodgeball team, isn't it? The Boston Bears. They all come out in bear outfits.
It's the old purple cobras come back again.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Do they just call themselves Purple Cobra?
It's the Globo Gym.
Globo Gym Purple Cobras. And they will rock you.
Yeah,
That
brilliant.
is just such a stupid film. I've not
It is
seen it in
ridiculous.
years.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Brilliant. Sometimes you just have to have fun. Absolutely, Jason.
Absolutely. No one makes me bleed my own blood.
Oh dear. Were you reading the dictionary? You caught me. I like to break a metal sweat too. Oh dear. Dodgeball, the podcast.
True underdog story.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh.
What else we got then? Anything else from here?
I don't know. I think we're a bit off topic.
Yeah, I think so.
Ghost in the House.
Replication technique. Again, another demonstrate card, which costs 5 mana, blue and 4. Create a token that's a copy of target permanent you control, which is quite good because you can demonstrate it. You can create 2 copies of target permanents you control, and you can make an opponent do the same thing. Someone else can cast it as well if they want, which is quite good. More copies of more good things. Another one I wanted to mention was Oversimplify, which is a weird card.
Just pulled that up. Go for it.
So green, blue, and 3 for exile all creatures in green and blue. Very strange. Each player creates a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token and puts a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number total power of creatures they controlled that were exiled this way. So just morphs all of your creatures into one big creature, potentially. But yeah, obviously gets rid of the board state, so that's quite a good board wipe in green and blue.
Yeah, that is weird, isn't it?
Get rid of
Everything
all
just has
those
one
nasty
massive
creatures.
fucking creature.
Yeah.
King of Tokyo.
And then what's the expensive cards of the deck?
So that one,
Azuri's Predation. For each creature your opponents control, create a 4/4 green beast creature token. Each of those beasts fights a different one of those creatures.
Ooh. That's nice.
Guardian Augmenter we mentioned. Obviously Adrix we mentioned. What else is there down here? Oh, Essex Fractal Bloom we mentioned.
Yeah.
Theoretical Duplication. So 2 and a blue for an instant. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control this turn, create a token that's a copy of that creature. That's pretty good.
That's good.
That's good. Nice instant.
There's a couple of those shapeshifter cards from Kaldheim as well. They cared about copying things as well, didn't they? So I think a lot of these sort of copying creatures and stuff is going to be going up in value a little bit. What else you got in there? Hornet Nest and Cassetto. That's interesting. What's Cassetto doing in there? Orochi Archmage. What is he doing in there?
So 1 blue and a green and a blue, and you can pay green and blue. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. If that creature is a snake, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. I guess it's just the unblockableness of it.
Just unblockableness, yeah.
Because there's a sort of theme in this of having like one big creature.
Letting it sneak through for damage. Yeah. Curse of the Swine, that's a good one. I've just seen at the bottom there, the spell. That's a good one. Curse of the Swine.
I think I got that in my pre-release pack for Theros.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
X blue X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, its controller creates a 2/2 green ball creature token.
Yeah. So it's pretty good just for getting rid of all the valuable creatures, replacing them with 2/2 pigs instead.
Yep. You got shamanic whatever that is. I've lost
Shamanic Revelation.
Yeah, that's the one. That's a card that doesn't need to be in there, but it's good that it is.
Draw a card for each creature you control. You gain 4 life for each creature you control, power 4 or more. Very good.
It's a nice card.
Yeah, it's great in great in sort of token decks. If you want to draw loads of cards, that's good. If you've got those creatures out, obviously.
Yep.
And the last sort of expensive one is Right Replication.
Oh yeah.
So that's 4 mana, copy a creature, or you can kick it for 9 mana and create 5 copies instead.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Or 10
Especially
if you have Adrix, or 20 if you control Adrix and Parallel Lives.
Yeah.
40. I'll stop there.
Oh, that's ridiculous. The maths in this deck. It's just proper Quandricks maths in this deck.
Ooh, is that Managorgia Hydra?
Yeah.
Is that in the deck?
Yeah.
Crikey.
So whenever I play a caster spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Just
wow.
Big. Quick.
Is that expensive still or not? Has it dropped a bit?
250 in here, it says.
Yeah, it's come down a little bit then.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It wasn't like mega expensive, but it was for what, Oh well, that's good.
Yeah, so good stuff all round by these decks by the looks of it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. When's 23rd, right? Release?
Is it?
Yeah. 23rd.
So yeah, next Friday.
Next Friday. Awesome.
Where did you get your cards? Where did you get your products from, Troy?
I believe it was Zatu Games.
Oh yeah.
They seem to be the cheapest, just by a few quid. Worked out about £28 a deck.
Yeah, they're always good as well. So give you loyalty points, I think, don't they?
Oh yeah, and that, yeah.
Yeah, they give you some good stuff.
Yeah. So you can't complain for the price. They do all 5 together.
Yeah. Good stuff.
And this is it. This is the Commander 21 decks, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
So which one's your favourites, each of you? If you could only choose
probably the
one.
same, innit? Aaron's must be the only one he's bought. Or has it changed?
He could
has
regret
it changed
his purchase.
I think the Lawhold one is the one obviously I bought before I even knew the deck list.
Yeah.
Just because I got the Rograk and Arden Equipment Matters deck, and I thought, what's the best way to try and spice that up by buying this one?
Yep.
But then after seeing the lists, I do like the green and blue one. So this one and the black and green one.
So I'd say the red and white one is probably top of the list for me. Before the the Quandricks one, before the deck list was released, I was really hoping that it would be good, and I know I'd like it, just because I've never had a deck, in those colours before. Yeah. And I kind of just bypassed it because I always had a mono green deck, and I always felt it was too similar in terms of play style. But this, I was like, oh yeah. So that's probably second for me.
Yeah.
And we'll put the Witherbloom one third, and the Prismari one would be bottom of the list for me. But that's just flavour, not my thing.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, like we said, everything's doing something a bit different this time round, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously playing the decks is going to be totally different to just sitting here talking and predicting. So hopefully we'll be able to play them all together at some point. But then we'd have to find 4 friends to play all of them.
That's hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah. We'd have to play like a deck each, and then someone would have to play an extra deck.
Oh yeah, 'cause there's 5 of them. Yeah.
There's 5, isn't it? It's weird. Like there's 5, so yeah, we'd have to do a 5-player game somehow.
Yeah, you have to play the variant, whatever that variant's called, where one of you's the king, one of you's.
Oh yes,
that's a good 5-player variant.
That was good.
Stick Plains Chase in there as well, and then you're off to the races.
Yeah,
absolute epic game. But that's it. That's all the Commander decks, and we're touching on a 3-hour podcast special
it?
tonight. So,
I just noticed, yeah.
Boom.
so 1 hour per person, basically.
We're not even over yet. There's loads to talk about.
Is there more? Is there?
Missed
Jason
so
said,
many cards.
Jason said,
No.
have we got Time Spiral remastered on the go?
I know it's off topic.
Let's go for a review of the whole set. I haven't bought any Time Spiral. Have either of you? Have either of you got any?
No.
I think I did. I bought a Path to Exile because I needed one. And it was a
Nice.
spiraled one. I considered the Damnation, is it? The black board wipe thing.
Oh,
Damnation.
Yes, yeah, Damnation.
Yeah.
Or reprint, innit?
Yeah.
I didn't in the end because I was like, I'm not buying cards anymore if I don't actually need them in a deck right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to think, oh, I'll buy that as a staple. And
Yeah.
you don't
And
really
a staple you never use and then it loses value. No, I don't know. I wasn't massively. It was good that it was there, but I wasn't massively bothered about anything.
Yeah, I haven't bought any sort of replacements. I know obviously a lot of the newer cards got sort of the older art treatment, but I haven't actually replaced any of them. I haven't bought anything from the set, to be honest.
No, I'd say 90% of them looked good. There was a few. I didn't like Abrupt Decay the way that looked. But yeah, some people like that kind of stuff. That was the appeal, wasn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh,
No,
Jason said
definitely
he's
do it
got
again.
2 of the old border foils. Which ones did you get, Jason?
Oh, nice.
Good ones. But yeah, it sounds like they were
Conda was
popular
quite expensive.
in general, the old borders, and I think by the sound of it, Wizards are keen to do it again because they were popular.
Yeah,
Time Spiral remastered twice, or whatever they'll call it.
Yeah.
So, or I guess
Back in Time remastered.
Um,
I'm looking forward to Modern Horizons 2, probably. That
Yeah,
has some
same.
good cards. I use a lot of cards from Modern Horizons in my decks.
Yeah.
They were a powerhouse.
Prismatic Vista, I wish I'd have bought when I was moaning it was like £16. Now it's like 25. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Bloody lands.
I reckon that could get a reprint in it. Who knows?
To be honest, when cards get above £3, I think what's the point anymore?
Yeah.
For me, that's just like, well, I could buy another 30 of my favourite Curse of Echoes for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's madness, isn't it? There's always a budget alternative, which is good. Mystic Confluence and Arch of Orazka. Nice.
Yeah, they're both decent. They're good pulls.
That Arch of, Orazka, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the land, isn't it?
I bought a few
cards.
Yeah, City's Blessing one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've bought a few recently, but it's mainly for the card draw aspect.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we've got time for with regards to the Magic cards. But there was another bit of random news as well, didn't you? There wasn't there, Tom? You wanted to mention?
Oh, I was just quickly gonna mention that
they
Wizards have cancelled the much beloved, widely used, well-known content creator program.
Oh, I did see this today. I saw a certain YouTuber ranting about this today.
yeah, I did as well.
But yeah, they made a big fanfare about them launching it, and they're all this big creator program. Everyone should be streaming. They got a few people to show you like how to start streaming and all this stuff. And then, as far as I can see, they didn't really do anything with it. The only thing I can see they did do was this event. I can't remember what they called it. Not pre-release, but early
like a launch
early
event.
access, wasn't it? Streamers early access. Yeah. And it just if you're in part of this program, you could go on to a special version of Arena and play with all the new cards a day before anyone else and stuff.
Without burning all your wild cards and stuff.
Yeah, and now Wizards have decided they're not going to do that from Strixhaven forward, but decided that they'd only announce it today to all the people that were planning to do it like Thursday. So if you like proper streamers, unlike us, prepare for such things. And like they would have probably been like building deck lists, like preparing content and stuff. They'd been putting loads of effort into getting everything together to like 48 hours beforehand, just been having the rug pulled under them and said, "Oh no, we're not doing that now." It just seems weird. Like people were saying it must have been such a good advertisement and free thing for Wizards to do. And now, yeah, they've just scrapped this content creator thing and said, "Oh, we're still gonna have a Discord going." It's like, oh yeah, that's really gonna get everyone going.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? People's livelihoods and entire schedules are sort of based on streaming content. So when they don't have access to that anymore, it's just like, oh, what do I do now instead?
It's clearly not making Wizards money, so they're not interested.
Yeah, I guess it's just that again. It's we don't get like direct cut of this money.
Yeah.
I think that's what's eventually going to happen, though, isn't it? I think people that rely on money for their own income by doing magic content is going to be more and more stuff taken away as time goes on. I think it's going to be interesting to see. From our perspective, we just do this for fun, so it's going to be interesting to see how it does affect.
Wait, you're getting paid?
Wait, we're getting paid? No.
Do it for fun.
Do it for fun.
He gave you 200.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it impacts it, and whether people still want to make content just from the love of the game, or whether they actually do it only because they're getting paid for it, sort of thing. And the benefits that come with so and so being a creator. Is it worth still doing it?
Well, that sort of relates to another. Do you see the other story this week? Hashtag MTG Booty.
Oh yeah, that.
So yeah, it's. Yeah. I didn't really see where it started. I just suddenly saw a load of butts on over the internet. Yeah. Not on the usual websites. So just it sounds like someone, I don't know if someone was streaming or something, but basically just classic, just people making weird derogatory comments about people, and I think it was like basically people saying like about a certain streamer was only streaming to try and like basically get guys' attention or something weird like that. And they
was this that naked streamer? I pay good money for that.
But like one like. The person that instantly said back, why the hell would I choose Magic as my audience for that? It's like quite a niche thing. Why would I choose that? If I wanted to just get in on people just paying me to do stuff, you'd go for one of the biggest audiences and really just make some money.
Yeah,
and it was just weird. And clearly, you guys are here for the love of the game. We're not actually. If you stick around for another 20 minutes, we do get naked.
I mean, you can hear me rant about how I hate Magic and things. Really
yeah.
Hate it most days, to be honest. I just come on and pretend I know what I'm talking about.
I actually play Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Get out!
Flesh and blood.
But, yeah, hopefully back to playing this week properly.
Nice.
Hopefully, yeah.
So yeah.
That was good. Yeah, cheers for coming on, Troy. That was good to have you on today.
That was good being here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what we're going to speak about next week, but we'll see what happens.
Whatever next weird controversy hits Magic next week.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Because this time next week, so all the stuff will be on Arena, won't it?
I think so, yeah. I think Thursday or Friday it goes live on Arena.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
There'll be plenty going on, I guess. More controversies.
Always is.
Essex has gone to $200 in value or something ridiculous.
Yeah. I'll have to stick around to see that. Yes, you will, Jason. Yes, definitely stick around for that.
Remember, you can see more on the OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans. Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Put it behind the paywall. Sorted.
Turn official.
Yeah. Right.
Brilliant.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, and that's about it really. So we'll see you on the next one, or you'll hear us in your ears in the next one. So yeah, ciao.
Bye. Ciao, Bella. Goodbye.
So this is